landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. I'm still not used to the fact that the camera's over here now. I'll work on that, maybe, or maybe not. Is that a new tattoo on the desk? That's Ursa Ring. He was in Impulse Pokemon Center by earlier in the year, but he's only been on camera like twice, maybe. I think once he was sitting on top of something. He's so grumpy. That's what Teddy Ursa turns into. Yes, and also Brown Bear. Brown Bear has this lovely, soft sort of felt covering that like absorbs every fingerprint known to man. So like you have to work really hard so it's not obvious where he's been like handled or whatever. He's very cute. He's a very good amount of grumpy. He's like very cartoon grumpy. Like I don't know. I'm very pleased with he has the sort of intimidating nature that like a big grizzly bear Pokemon would have, but like his face is just sort of like frown emoticon, and it makes me happy. Like I probably shouldn't have spent money on him, but I saw his face and I was like, it's a good face. Hi Neko, welcome to the stream. It is Friday, November the 7th. I forgot I did my intro because I got distracted talking about bears. I don't have any particular rant this week, really. To be honest with you, I've spent like nearly all of my free time this week just playing Pokemon ZA, which I had been looking forward to for probably at least a year. And then when it finally got released, I was in the middle of like one of my biggest personal stream projects of all time, which, you know, self-inflicted, and, you know, whether that was necessary, all debatable. But I don't know. I had a good time doing the Halloween stream. I think other people did too. But then I was like, you know what I could go for is like, honestly, it hasn't even been that much time. I think I checked like in the middle of my PlayStation last night, which was one of the longer ones I've had. And I think I'm up to like maybe 14 and a half total hours, which is like, I think I played like 5 hours like the day the game came out. Maybe not even that much, but like, you know, I'm playing like 2-ish hours a day or something. It's not insane. It feels like a lot to me because I just don't have that much time. Yeah, the Twitch streaks are super weird, right? It was making me crazy because like I saw like a Twitch subreddit post where someone was like annoyed that they like couldn't hit the like watch streak, and they were like, is this happening to anyone else? And like literally every person was like, no, not happening to me, skill issue, like basically like you're doing something wrong, like are you sure you're not like muting the tab? I'm like, are you all insane? Like are we the only ones seeing this here in the Vasco da Gamer chat? Because like the watch streak thing has been going on for like at least like 3 weeks now. Like Demolition, who's basically like lives on this page when I'm not here, like had like a 2 stream watch streak or something, and it was like that's nothing. That doesn't make any sense. I played recently was a little bit of the Outer Worlds 2. Super duper okay. Now, when you say super duper okay, are you sure that you don't mean wait for it.
Okie dokie.
I didn't set up a button on the stream deck because I had like 6 minutes before the stream, and I was like, I did promise that I would get a redemption set up for Okie Dokie. I think Demolition might be the only person who cares, but it's there now. I don't know if that's long term. I had some ideas about consolidating some things. Oh, it is a good opportunity to ask. So in the process of getting stuff for the name game for Halloween, obviously I got some sound clips I did not previously have from Heavy Rain, like the Origami Killer. As part of this process, I did get clean audio versions of Jason and Sean, by which I mean the ones that we've been using forever. I like got from some like random free source online where someone just like uploaded a bunch of like Heavy Rain clips that were like most prominently all the varieties of Ethan Mars yelling his children's names. but like they were just ripped directly from gameplay with like normal music and like background noises. So they're like kind of sloppy in a way that I like don't normally upload stuff. I'm genuinely curious if people care one way or the other about like I can replace them with clean ones, but like we also just have the like loud background music rain ones that we've been using forever. Like, do we prefer to keep those? Do we care at all? I'm curious. Um, I am encouraged. It's a relatively good news week here in the United States. We had like some, I don't even know what to call it. It's not like a proper election year, but we had some elections, and as someone who doesn't love evil, it went like pretty good. The Arcana now and must be kept. I'm partial to the background ones. Okay, that's a fair answer. Um, I kind of thought that would be the answer, which is why I didn't just go and replace them because I could have done that, and I feel like that might have caused someone shock, horror, and perhaps alarm. Um, but yeah, I will say, with all the talk of like some high profile like election stuff going on, I started feeling really paranoid because it's like I didn't get any election stuff locally, but like it's not a major election year. And like I started looking into it, and the thing that was like a little bit funny to me was like I checked like the districts near where I live in Florida, and it listed like 8 in a row in like numerical sequence, and like then there was like one gap, and that was like the district that I'm assigned to, and then there were like three others, and it's like, all right, I guess we're the only ones not doing anything today. But that's whatever. Um, Yeah, like I said, I don't have too much to rant about. I will say, have been enjoying Pokemon ZA for the amount of time I've been playing it. There is one thing. There's like a couple minor things that are like, occasionally annoying or whatever. Like you because it has sort of like a real-time combat thing. Sometimes you like give your command to do something, and it feels like the game is ignoring it or like processing it really slowly, and that can be frustrating. And like, there's just not really anything to do about that. Hopefully, if they continue like working on this system, they just iterate to a point where that feels comfortable and like not in a place where it's like not totally deterministic or whatever. But there is one thing that is continuing to vex me on a regular basis, which is there's like a controversial thing in like the promotional material leading up to the release of that game, where they were sort of like, "Ooh, like this game has a focus on trainer battles, but for like the first time ever, like you can like surprise enemy trainers." And like it kind of like showed people like sneaking up on other Pokemon trainers and just like sneak attacking them. And some people are like, that feels weird. It feels weird to just like randomly assault people in this like children's franchise. But like, I don't know, like every RPG for the last like 15 years at least has had some sort of like mechanic to start confrontations with advantage. So like it's like precedented and whatever. But the thing that makes me crazy is that like there's so like it works like in relatively speaking the obvious way of like if you attack them first you get advantage, if they like catch you unawares they get advantage, and then like it's kind of supposed to be like if you kind of just like run up to them head on, like you just have a normal battle, which is, again, it's all like fairly typical for like role-playing games these days. But like the experience I have is that like um I will frequently like be in a position where like I am like staring down like a straight hallway where like there's no place to hide and no ability for me to sneak up like around and behind them or anything. So I'm like, well, like maybe if I stay low, they'll just randomly like look to the side and not look at me. So like I will approach them, but I'll approach them like relatively head on, trying to get like my like advantage attack on them or whatever. And like again, I'm like facing directly ahead in a straight line at them, and they'll look at me and it'll be like, they caught you unaware. And I'm like, in what way? I was staring directly at them, like focused on them with the intention to attack. Like, I'll give you that I did not sneak up on them, but I cannot understand how you interpret me deliberately moving into battle as me being like caught by surprise. Like I don't know, and it has been happening to me like a surprising amount, and it is very frustrating because it's like if it was just sort of like, oh shucks, you don't get like the advantage. It's like that's fine because like it's not necessary. But then when like they spend like 3 seconds or whatever like wailing on me, and I'm just like standing like my character's like panically holding their head for reasons unknown to me. I'm just like I don't get to do anything, and I was like right into battle. Yeah, like yeah, I have that experience too. Nico says I'll be mid attack and they'll spot me and my Pokemon will get dizzy because I was caught unaware. Yeah, it's like yeah, many of the times like you're literally close enough that you're like on the verge of getting like your own sneak attack. Like your Pokemon is like doing some sort of like bonk them on the head to start the battle, and then they're like, "Oh, we got you," and it's like, "What do you? I'm literally hitting you in the head right now." Like I don't know how you would like make it so that situation is like never frustrating, but like it is shocking to me how frequently that particular part of the game is so irritating. These types of context programming laziness issues aren't surprising. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like there's still going to be some timing element, right? Like it feels hard to get it perfect so that you would like never or even almost never feel like the timing is just like randomly against you. But like I just it's the same reason that I really just don't like stealth mechanics generally speaking in video games is because like you just have no there's only two ways to do it is like the way the majority of games handle it, which is where there's no reasonable way without like farming the game's code to know like what their level of perception is, like where they might be able to hear or see you or whatever before you get caught, or the opposite, which feels like really ridiculous in its own way, where like you have some superpower where like you see the circle that they would hear you in if you were walking in it. And it's just like, I don't know, like I feel like when I play stealth games, I get really like tense and frustrated, like, and I think it's like beyond the intended effect because it's not just like, ooh, will I get caught? It's like I'm trying my absolute best, and it is wildly unclear to me if I need to be ridiculously careful or if I'm just wasting time. And that could cut either way of like wasting time because they'll just always see you, or wasting time because I'm being super careful and they're idiots and they'll never find me or whatever. Part of me, I think it's more the range of vision they give the NPC. I mean, it feels like that's probably a factor, right? Like, I mean, I would agree with you, Anime, in the sense that like I definitely get the impression that the NPCs in Pokemon ZA have like wildly more like range of vision or whatever you want to call it than I feel like is reasonable, because like the game like clearly really wants you to do the sneak attacks because there's this whole like incentive system where you can like pick up these like cards that are like bonus challenges, and like a really high percentage of them involve like the sneak attack system in some way. But like it's absolutely intensely frustrating like how often like there's just like absolutely no hope of you getting like close to landing a sneak attack on someone. Like a lot of it is like you climb on top of buildings and then like the enemies are just like above you looking down, and if you climb up they're obviously going to like see you right away and stuff like that, which is annoying. But also like there are a lot of like straightaway like hallways and stuff where like if you just try to approach them like I was saying earlier, it's just like it's like an alleyway. It's like sometimes there's a little grass or a bench or something, but it's like an alleyway. Like you're basically just walking directly into their line of sight. Like you have to waste such a preposterous amount of time waiting for them to like turn around and then like hope they don't suddenly turn around again for no reason, or just like charge into battle. But then like sometimes you like head straight into battle and they're like, you were surprised somehow. NPCs have been able to see me when I was at lower elevation hugging the wall under their feet. I'm not sure if I've quite had that, but I absolutely believe that's a thing that's happening. Hi, Keen. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're just talking a little bit about Pokemon ZA and some of the changes that they've added to the battle system. since I've been playing it a lot in my spare time. Um, yeah, I mean, like that really like there's a ton of other like small things that like feel like they could be a little nicer here and there, but like honestly, that's like the big one, the sneak attack system and the incentive to do it more, but then like the game like really insisting that it be like much more difficult than I feel like it should be, and even in a lot of cases more difficult than it feels like it is intended to be. I will say I appreciate the game giving you some like cool starter Pokemon, much like the original X and Y games. They let you pick the Generation One starter. It will not surprise you that I picked Squirtle. The one of the most satisfying experiences I've had in Pokemon ZA is watching Blastoise do Hydro Pump. It's just it looks and feels exactly the way I want Blastoise doing Hydro Pump to be, with the exception that occasionally I will use Hydro Pump to try and like break these environmental obstacles and things that like drop little material that you exchange for rare items. And for some reason, like if it's like up on a wall, which is pretty common in the game, I've had a couple instances where he like literally like shoots water diagonally downward into the ground at nothing and misses his target. And I'm like, I don't know what happened here. I'm confused as to why you're confused. Um, but yeah, I will say this: I have found that the best way to manage sneak attacks in cases where it's possible to do it is to round a corner, lock onto your target, immediately tell your Pokemon to go hit them, and then just like conceal yourself. Cause like they don't act like in an unintuitive way, the enemy AI like doesn't actually care about your Pokemon, the thing that will actually harm their Pokemon and the threat, the imminent threat to their position in the tournament. They don't care about the Pokemon at all. They only care about human beings, which leads me to believe that like if wild Pokemon were hanging out in like the battle zones while that was going on, they would just like haplessly let the Pokemon like beat them up because all they care about is the human target. And like from a game mechanic standpoint, I understand how it works that way, but it feels very dopey to watch that. But like, yeah, some of the best success I've had is like them being like just close enough for me to like pop out, be like hit him in the head, and then just like hide behind the corner, and then they just stand no chance of like counter spotting me or whatever. I'm playing through Ghost of Yotei, and the stealth gameplay is a lot better than Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed Shadow does parkour and climbing better. Is there parkour and climbing in Ghost of Yotei? I don't know very much about Ghost of Yotei to be honest, but I had heard at one point that it has like basically like every game mechanic ever in it or something, which I'm sure was hyperbole. But like I really wouldn't have pegged that game for having parkour, so like now I'm starting to wonder about how exaggerated the exaggeration was. But I gotta tell you, it must the car driving by must be like so loud if I could still hear it with the new windows. But some cars really do be like that in the neighborhood. It is better than Shadows in every single way. I mean, I'm gonna be like, how many people are playing like? When did Assassin's Creed Shadow come out? I don't even feel like I've heard that title before. But like I think the last time I played an Assassin's Creed game was Black Flag, the pirate one. Because everyone said it was amazing and it was like good, but I didn't honestly love it. And I kind of lost interest like way before I got close to beating it. And like when I was basically I was like, if this is like the good one and it's pirates and I still don't care, then I really am not gonna care about any other one. Love the back-to-back comments 6 months ago, and that came out. Um, this one was the hyper buggy Unity. That sounds right. They're on 10. I mean, I know they've been doing a bunch more, and I know I've heard like middling things at best for the most part. It's walking on tightropes and climbing up buildings. I guess I just didn't think of that as a game that would have a lot of climbing up buildings. I mean, I guess if you're climbing up buildings, parkour makes some amount of sense. Although obviously parkour itself like didn't exist in the time period I assume that game takes place in. Maybe I don't know even more than I thought about that. One of these days I might learn how to do lighting or microphones and then the stream would be good. I do make myself a little bit crazy, like doing my best and knowing it's not good enough. But then that really applies to my life in general. I guess the only one post Black Flag I enjoyed was the one in England. I don't even know they did an England one. It's good parkour, but it feels a little brain dead. I mean, it's tricky, right? Because like, if you make the parkour like too active, it's almost definitely going to be too annoying. Like, you don't really want to manage every handhold unless your game is like really about that. Like, if it's part of the movement scheme to like achieve something cool and like interesting, like you don't really want to be like left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. But like, yeah, I mean, if there's like nothing to it, then that also feels like it doesn't need to be in the game. Yeah, I don't remember what the Egypt one was called. I remember hearing like especially bad things about that. I feel like I heard like some bad things about the Greek one and like very little about the Viking one. Really legitimately didn't know that there was an England one. The England one is the Viking one? Maybe is what I'm hearing. Can see details of the squishmallows on the far wall. I mean, I can see grain on them, which I shouldn't do. I shouldn't be doing at all. Egypt is Origins. Is Egypt Origins? That might be true. I do think Origins was no unit. Yeah, no, I think that's probably right. The Viking one, you go to England to raid stuff. I'm impressed you all can keep up with it. Like, I don't even feel like I went out of my way to make some incredible vow to be like, and I will know nothing about any Assassin's Creed game ever again. So shall it be written, so shall it be done. But like, by having like a somewhat decreased interest in Assassin's Creed at large, I feel like I've just incidentally learned nearly nothing about any Assassin's Creed game after Black Flag. And I do feel like on the whole, the popularity for the franchise dropped off after that. I'm not necessarily saying that like no one cares about them, and I certainly don't think that like no one plays them or anything extreme like that. But like I feel like it wasn't nearly as much in the zeitgeist after Black Flag. I mean, I even remember seeing like some coverage of like I don't even know if it was considered an Assassin's Creed game. I think it's not, right? Wasn't there some game that was like basically made with the engine of like the sailing from Assassin's Creed Black Flag that was just supposed to be some like multiplayer pirate game? And like it took like several years for it to come out. And when it finally did, it was just like, oh my God, it's just like part of Assassin's Creed 4. It's just like part of that game expanded to be a whole game and just like nobody. Yeah, Skull and Bones, that sounds right. And just like people had been really excited for it, but then when it came out, it was just like it's basically just part of an old game. like no one seemed to like it. I watched like some footage of it and I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to care about that at all. But then again, I got one of the last times I got really hyped about a game, accepting to some degree Pokemon ZA, but I think that was a really like cautious optimism, or fairly cautious optimism, and it's pretty close to what I thought it was going to be. So like I don't feel like I had outrageous expectations, but like what is it? Sea of Thieves. I remember seeing like the early like gameplay and trailers and stuff for Sea of Thieves, and I was like so hyped for it, and like the initial like demo they had for some, it might have been like E3 or something like that. Like I think the original trailers were old enough that E3 still existed. But like it showed this like little game loop of like going to an island and like fighting some skeletons for like a treasure chest and like going out to sea and like having a little sea battle. And I was like, oh man, those are some great ideas. I'm like really interested to see what a fully fleshed out world would be with this as like part of the pirate exploration. And then similar to my experience like being in the beta for like Pokemon Go and then it coming out, I was like, oh, that's the whole game. That's that's it. It's just random island small encounter. I don't know precisely what I expected, but like it was basic enough that I was just sort of like, certainly this is like a part of a larger interesting pirate world. And like the impression I got is like, nah, it's just this a lot of times over and over. Sea of Thieves always struck me as a streamer bait, but for like streamer bros. I think you're probably right. And I don't know if it was intended as that necessarily, but like I do think that's more or less what it was. Like instead of being like a cool immersive pirate world, I think it was largely conceived of as like multiplayer where you like prank people and steal their stuff. So like I do think that it ended up like skewing really heavily towards like a streamer bro crowd where like you would stream together with your friends and then you'd like push someone off the boat or like you and your friend would have like different ships and you'd like attack each other and like try and sabotage each other, whatever. Like I can imagine it being like fun to watch, but I literally had, I'm like so embarrassed about this to this day, that like I had like asked as like a big gift to get an Xbox One solely because I mean you probably know my stance that like I'm kind of an old school console gamer and my computer isn't super great at like streaming and running something that is like graphically intense. It can do one or the other, but it is not like beefy enough to do both. And like I really wanted to play it and I had some thought that I might stream it, so I was like, I'm like, can I please get like Xbox One? And then like it was pretty much solely to play Sea of Thieves. And then like when they finally like released it, I was like, I don't even want to spend money on that game. Like I don't even want to play it enough to like try it. I really don't. It's like Elite Dangerous for people who know football stats. That's a crazy sentence. I also don't remember very much. I remember Elite Dangerous being a game that came out and was significant and being surprised that somehow at the time I hadn't heard of it. Yeah, Sea of Thieves also isn't fun if you play it alone. Yeah, which like for typical friendless old me, that wasn't great either. Yeah, I'm not sure like how explicitly it was supposed to be a pirate MMO. Like I think definitely on some level that's what they were going for, but like again, like I think if you want like an MMO experience, it should like feel like its own world and not just like a bunch of random islands from like messing around on or whatever. I feel like it's impossible for a new MMO to have any staying power these days, due in large part to companies' obsession with freemium live service games. I mean, yeah, that's a you should bring that discussion to my sister's stream. She'd probably love to talk about that. Uh I mean, she just like wrote a book about game design and a lot of it focuses on like motivators of play and like why people play games and like how we should plan when making games and like not necessarily chase success from other games like simply because they're successful. We should like thoughtfully care about like how that applies to whatever we're trying to do with our video game project. Lots of really sensible like thought processes that like I think are interesting to discuss, even if you just have an interest in games, much less an interest in making them. But like, I do have a tendency to agree, at least in a personal sense, that I think that the video game industry has hit a similar hurdle to like traditional Hollywood, where like, everyone's been complaining for like 20 plus years at least about how everything is just like reboots and rehashes and late sequels and things like that. Um, And I think it all stems from this like big bloated money and risk aversion. Like everyone just wants making like a big expensive project like that to be a surefire investment. Like so few like non-indie projects in the video game space seem to be driven by like a true artistic vision and purpose. Not none, certainly, but I again, I can really only speak to my impressions and personal experience, but like, man, I'm so, for the most part, I'm like so heavily divorced from like AAA gaming because it's been so long since like AAA gaming seemed like it was directed at me or meant to appeal to me at all. Like, so much of that is just like, yeah, stuff like, shooters where like you pay exorbitant amounts of money for like rare skins and costumes and whatever. And it's just, that's cool for them, but like I'd rather just like I don't know. It's probably not even a good example because like the kinds of games I play. I play puzzle games where I get like inordinately mad that like I'm supposed to intuit the contents of a drawer I can't get into before I get into it, which is Kathy Rain 2, the game we will be playing some amount of tonight. But like, yeah, just like I don't know. Generally speaking, like I'm very heavily like pro indie games, but there's just so many problems in the games industry that like so many things are disappointing or just like disenfranchising. Uh, Much like some of the experiences in Kathy Rain also. Um, so let's hop over to Loud Motorcycle Scream. Um, Actually, let's silently watch the motorcycle for a second to make some person have tremendous amounts of OCD. And by some person, I really don't know who because, average hits on the YouTube VODs are super low. So, like, you'll pretty much tell me if you hate this. Um, but, yeah, so Kathy Rain 2, really interesting game in a lot of ways. I'm going to be really interested to see how it all comes together. It is definitely not a game that I like. Sometimes I will overly dedicate myself to finishing a game from some masochistic sense of completion, particularly when I started on stream. And I think part of that too is because I like narrative games, and so it feels weird to like not finish a game. Um, really need to finish up last week's VOD. Well, I leave it up to you, Keen. What feels like it makes the most sense? I could definitely give you a rundown. I mean, the progression in Kathy Rain 2 is so weird. If I had a consistent remark, I'm not even sure I'd quite go so far as complaint, but like a negative observation about Kathy Rain 2. The pacing is, and I don't say this lightly, whack. The pacing is whack. As I think we've all seen and or discussed, pretty much the first entire in-game day out of like maybe an in-game week or something like that is basically just going to the library and reading fake newspaper articles. And on the one hand, I sort of respect the attention to making it seem like a realistic private detective investigation. On the other hand, you did remember you were making a video game, right? And that, like, I mean, like, visual novel is its own niche of, like, expecting people to actually read a book in your video game. But, like, when you're like, yeah, it's an adventure game. We did one of these before. Remember? You could, like, tase people. You could tase everyone, including your girlfriend. I don't know. We have a problem. Don't ask about it. And then, like, Kathy Rain 2 comes along and they're like, yeah, we got homework. We got homework in droves. But like, so I do appreciate the gradual progression of following leads. Like that, I think has been realistic in a way that I think is interesting. Where like you will follow up on a character and maybe like learn a little bit about them, but like not enough to do anything about it. And then like maybe a day or two later, you learn more, and that like pushes you to try something new. Like that part of the game I think has been really effective. Much like the first game, I would not say that puzzles are Kathy Rain 2's strong suit. They have varied in degrees of irritating from the drawer puzzle I mentioned earlier. And I'll be honest with you, I literally woke up this morning and the first thought I had was like, why does Kathy Rain even expect me to presume that I can like insert extra ingredients in our mom's defunct cigarettes without like breaking the cigarettes or making it obvious that we had like tampered with them? I hadn't thought about it for like 6 days, and then this morning I just woke up. I'm like, that's just dumb. Like, I think that I would naturally feel like I would not be able to do that. And like, I don't know, maybe if I was a smoker, I would understand that, like, yeah, you could just like disassemble a cigarette and no one will notice or care. But like, it just seemed like that was like a really weird thing that I should like casually be expected to do and like not expect there to be repercussions or have to do anything about it. It's like the bits I saw from the root trees are dead. Lots of reading. I mean, the start of the game feels very the root trees are dead, and I think I might have said it on stream or maybe it was like in Discord or something. But like my response to that is like that is totally fair. I played the root trees are dead. I didn't play like the new game plus mode or whatever, which is probably also good. I just didn't think people wanted to see it on stream, so I just opted not to and did not prioritize doing it in my free time. But like the thing about the root trees are dead is like if you look at screenshots of the game or whatever, it's like it's very clear like that's the game is that you like read stuff and do research and it's like Google the game. And like the fact that it's upfront about it makes me buy into it, you know, like either I hate that and I'm not going to buy the game, or I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with this, let's give it a shot. And like it was what it said it was, and that was fine. I like that game. But then like this game is like, yeah, adventure game. Here, read a novella of disjointed newspaper articles. And I'm like, I came here to like pour coffee in a plant or something, dude. Zanculus says you could do it in a way where someone might not notice, but they noticed something was up the second they started smoking it. Well, I don't want to spoil the puzzle. I know you're probably going to play this game when and if you fix your computer. All I'll say is I'm not entirely sure if that applies to the circumstances we experienced, but that would make sense to me. Yeah, maybe that does answer the question. Anyway, like proper recap time. So, a lead from like 2 streams ago, which was a while ago in Earth years, had sent us down the path to go visit Kathy Rain's mom in the mental hospital where she had been committed. And when we saw her, she was very unpleasant, which tracks with what we know about that relationship. And we sort of tipped our hand that there was information she had about one of the Soothsayer victims that we wanted. And then she asked us to get her like her brand of cigarettes, which ended up being a hassle. And so a surprisingly convoluted puzzle later, she gives us some like absolute like gossipy hearsay that's like barely useful at all, but you know, we'll take what we can get. And then we did a weird thing where we like for some reason we like shoplifted like a mirror that was like a nicer copy of something we already had in our inventory. That felt really weird to me. We also had to gain access to the, what is that place called? The King of Clubs or something. There's a club in town with an important trans lady who's like a prominent poet, and apparently you need a membership card, and we did some hilarious hippie things for like a second time. And then we had to go improv some poetry and impress Hannah Verdew. And then what did like Hannah actually tell us? I mean, I feel like Hannah told us almost nothing of use. Kind of like confirmed some stuff we knew about where the like peculiar street drug is coming from. And then like mentioned like one weird detail we didn't have, which is like the people who give out the weird street drug will like administer like a written test before they'll give it to you. And I don't know what to make of that, and I don't think that's actionable. But then after that, we did get accosted by a drunk police officer who apparently got fired trying to do us a favor and implied that like the case has some like the roots run deep or something, and like the cops are maybe trying to cover it up or something. It's not entirely clear what it means, but it's like something kind of shady with the cops is what it sounds like. And then finally, after like comparing notes with our detective friend, he gave us some intel I don't remember that hopefully the game will remind me of. And then we had another weird supernatural vision. And like this time it was kind of weird because it wasn't just like us processing weird occult stuff in our mind palace. Like it seemed like an actual like Soothsayer victim was like trying to give us a hint to their identity, which would be like relatively overtly supernatural in a way that these games have been like messy about. But that was like the last thing that we did, and so now I'll click on the game and it'll start making motorcycle and rain sounds again. Scroll.
It's almost a birthday.
Hang on, I just want to make sure we're not immediately talking. Okay, great. Olé. Have to prioritize that because I know there's a good chance that Zacula will turn back into a pumpkin when we start playing Kathy Rain 2. What's my inventory? Cool photo of myself in green. Okay, well, I hope when I go to my motorcycle, it will tell me where I can go today. Or maybe I'll get a phone call. Oh, right. Spooky note. Later, Zacula. As a reminder, I'm not streaming tomorrow because I have some family plans. I think the rest of the month, other than Thanksgiving weekend, we're probably on barring some weird shenanigans. I think the goal is to, like, try and finish Kathy Rain 2 this month. And then do some... I think the plan... I have some silly ideas for December, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Answering machine.
Hey, it's Lucas. I just heard back from an informant of mine. And apparently our boy FaZe was sighted downtown this morning.
FaZe is like the name of some street artist who had some nebulous tie to the drugs. Was he a dealer? Was he just a guy who got the drugs? I don't know.
You know, near the pawn shop? All right, kid. We're even.
Perfect. I gotta head there right away. Maybe the guy's still around.
Why do they call an answering machine when it doesn't answer any of my questions?
Nah, I'll let her sleep in peace. Better not. Knowing me, I'll end up with no film left and a million goofy cat photos.
Just buy more film. That's right, she's like too broke to get a mortar and pestle.
Here we go again. Pattern. Stab, fall, hang, burn. Mirrors are portals. Inception occurred in 1995. T.
No. Inception definitely came out after Batman Begins, so it was like clearly in the 2000s. Think she's made of film money? I think that film grows on trees. Film trees. Is that something? There's something that's really, really funny to me about... So there's like 5 victims, yeah? And like this note says pattern. And the pattern is like 4 things that are all different types of death. It's like... That's quite a conclusion to draw. Mirrors are poor. I like how this is basically written like someone's like notes from the game blueprints. Like, your mileage may vary as to what your personal notes look like, but I feel like reading this gives you the same like sensation and degree of information as like finding some other person's notes about like stuff going on in the game blueprints.
1995? No, it can't be. Is this all connected to what happened in Conwell Springs?
I'm telling you that the drug is just based on that weird sickle plant from the first game, for sure. I will be shocked if that's not true. And like that being the case, like, yeah, I mean, like, if mirrors are portals or whatever, it's probably to like the place where the Crimson Man hangs out sculpting his flesh friends. Film tree is at Disco Elysium, remember? I don't. I believe that's true. I don't remember that. There's a lot of stuff
Shall
in
we
Disco
sculpt
Elysium.
some flesh friends then?
I really gotta do another pass on like all of the sound effects I added in October. I think they're all a little too loud. I think it's fine though. Where did he say the guy was? God, I should pay attention to the video game, huh? This is not where I thought this location was. Pawn shop. That's where I thought I was going when I clicked random street intersection. I guess it's this one. Downtown? Yeah, that's in a vacuum. That would have been my guess. Can I go in the pawn shop? When's the last time you met someone named Corey?
Hey, Corey, right?
Only Ma calls me that. It's Faye's homegirl.
I don't know how people call each other homeboy and homegirl and like mean it and feel it sincerely. Yeah, I feel like it's on the same page. Like, this guy doesn't seem like he can get away with calling anyone homegirl.
Sure thing. Faye's homegirl.
This is why I have a hard time believing that Kathy Rain isn't dead. I get that Kathy Rain is irreverent, but like Kathy Rain like goes up against like actual like rough and tumble types, and I feel like she definitely should have been like stabbed pretty bad at some point in her past.
You one of those sassy ass chicks, huh?
I've been known to mouth off on occasion. But wait a minute, you look familiar.
Huh? What are you on about? The Fays ain't ever seen you before.
I don't know how people call themselves the Fays in the third person and like say it with a straight face and mean it sincerely and all that.
Yeah, you're that raving lunatic I electrocuted up on Constance Hill.
Damn, that was you? Oh man, my bad. I was fucked up that day.
No shit you were. You better keep your distance, buddy.
Oh, come on, I'm all good now. I just had a tiny little pick-me-up this morning. That's it, I swear.
I don't feel great about that.
At least you're lucid enough for a fucking conversation.
You got me good though, no joke. Look at this sick bump on my head, and I still can't feel some toes on my foot, for real.
Well, you had it coming. Look, Faze, people have been saying that you're a guy with some useful information.
This isn't the same voice actor as the first game, right? You mean, Kathy? I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I've really been paying attention to that. Like, I'm pretty sure that Eileen is a different voice actor, so it would not surprise me if Kathy was different, but that does feel weird, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess the Faze knows a thing or two. Alright then, speak.
No. What's the funniest thing I can ask him about?
I don't want to ask.
Let's just ask him about the important thing.
I've been told you scored some pyre. Is that right?
Oh man, yes, just once. I'd do anything to feel that high again.
Yeah? What's so special about it?
You'd have to be a junkie to understand. The Faze has tried every psychedelic under the sun. LSD, DMT, shrooms, none of them compare to pyre. Mind at large, pure and simple.
I really wanted him to throw like another 3-letter acronym in there that wasn't anything. CSI. SUV.
Mind at large. What does that mean?
That we have like a filter in our brains, keeping us from seeing what's really out there. Drugs like pyre numb that filter, allowing us to see alternate realities, astral realms, all kinds of wild shit, yo.
Here's what would make you think by default that that's what the world is like. Because It says the voice actor doesn't fit the character to me. What's interesting is, like, I feel like the Kathy Rain voice actress fits the attitude I expect Kathy Rain to have, but doesn't totally match the portrait, if that makes sense. MTV says they're both the same VAs. That must be a voice direction thing then. Eileen definitely sounds different to me in this game. Kathy, I'm like less sure of. I am more easily convinced that she is the same. I just didn't give it much thought, to be honest. But like Eileen, like instantly struck me as sounding different in this game.
Interesting. And what did Pyre make you see?
Man, most of it can't be described with words. One thing is burned into my mind, though. The eye. The eye of the universe staring back at me. I never believed in a god before, but now I ain't so sure.
I kind of wanted him to be like, it can't really be described with words, so I'm gonna make up a few. It's kind of like when Vlampel Dintogno Centevo. And it's like, okay, I mean, I appreciate the effort. That obviously doesn't mean anything to me.
How did you get Pyre in the first place? It seems hard to come by.
The pyre dealers came to me. Makes sense, I've been a steady dope fiend for 15-something years now. Guess they went with the tried and true, huh?
I mean, considering they just, like, give it away, according to all accounts thus far, I'm not sure you would just casually be like, it makes sense that they just found me and gave me drugs.
Right. I've also heard rumors about some kind of interview. Is there any truth to that?
Oh yeah, those fuckers asked all sorts of questions. About my childhood, dramas, and whatnot. Wasn't no problem for me to yap about. The phase is an open book.
I suppose the phase is, it says it can't really be described with words, so I've elected to show you through interpretive dance. See, that would be good too.
Curious. So, the pyre dealers. It's a man and a woman, right?
Yeah, dude's a big bald guy. I'll never forget his face.
That's
Creepy motherfucker.
That's straight up the Crimson Man, huh? Probably. He's a bald guy. I don't actually know how tall he is, because he was mostly in scenes by himself, I think, in the first game. Mostly.
Creepy how?
I don't know, man. He was intense. You know, not looking at you, but through you? Like I was a thing, not a person.
What about the woman?
I just caught a quick
She was
glimpse of
also a
her.
large bald
She wore a
man.
hood. Saw some pretty nasty scars, though. Something seriously fucking bad happened to that chick.
Do you think that the woman is like anti-Kathy? The like negative version of ourselves that we found in the pit, who like did not like us, and we sort of left her there? We did something awful to her, right? I don't remember exactly what we did at the end of Kathy Rain 1. We like dumped her in a hole or something.
She had scars? On her face?
Yeah, on one side. Melted skin, like from burns, acid, or some shit like that.
Maybe we did that? I don't remember.
Damn. Got any more details on this couple? You know, what they were wearing or what they looked like?
They were both wearing the same negligee. Again, basically two large bald men. Really weird vibe.
Both white people. She didn't seem too old, like your age maybe.
Yeah, it's probably
Dressed in all black. I guess
anti-us.
she wasn't too girly, you know? What's the word for it when you're in between?
What kind of question is that? What is... I assume he's fishing for, like, tomboy? But, like, what exactly do you mean by in between?
Androgynous?
Yeah, androgynous. That's what she was.
Okay.
Got it. And what about the man?
In his 40s or so. Bald head, big black eyebrows, brown eyes, and like I said, intense fucking energy. Major big bad wolf vibes coming off that dude.
All right. Thanks.
I really think there's a good chance that we're the drug dealer. I'm gonna be so mad if it's me under there again.
So, what's your deal, FaZe?
This is the thing that the Glass Cannon podcast always jokes about. Say, like, they play a lot of like role-playing games, and like sometimes they'll have things like you can ask like one question to this like mystical entity before it like evaporates into the astral realm. And like they'll often joke that like the thing you should do is just ask like, so like what's your whole deal? And then like they'll just elaborate on everything of relevance or something.
Me? Well, you know, just another street dog trying to get by.
Yeah? How's that going for you?
Well, fuck, not great. But I mean, could be worse. At least it's summer soon.
I mean, he seems to have a pretty good attitude, all things considering.
I see. Have you been making graffiti long?
Forever. The FaZe always loved drawing, even as a kid. Art was probably the only subject I ever passed.
Okay, let's start the tedious process of asking him a bunch of things I know he doesn't know about.
Does the name Rachel Wang mean anything to you?
Nah, never heard of that chick.
Do you know who Tabitha Caldwell is?
Nope, don't know that name.
I don't want to ask him about that.
It's so funny, the line that we draw arbitrary. Like, there are a handful of games that use a system very similar to this, where, like, any concept that you're gonna, like, have dialogue about is, like, represented in, like, one unified notebook. Like, specifically, like, a notebook like this. There's, like, the Blackwell games do this. Laura Bow does this. There's, like, a few other ones. That's curious. Maybe we just redeemed name game and it didn't fire. Why would that? Oh, that's my bad. Because I forgot to like do the. Give it a second. The software. I'm not used to like starting the extra software. It has to be running on my computer for it to work right. It's a great thing to do while already streaming. But like the thing I don't really love about this system is that like what ends up happening invariably is like this exact situation, right? Where like there's obviously some things I want to talk to this guy about, and instead I have like 40 things that I could ask him about. And like obviously he's not going to have answers to like most of them, but like on the off chance that the video game tries to surprise you and like has a relevant connection somewhere, like you're kind of obliged to like go through all the options anyway. It just feels more tedious than like a more organic set of dialogue options. Now, to make up for that redemption, Nego asks, does this guy know about...
That's Nicholas St. Kringle, the well-known toy tycoon.
And for example, maybe know something about...
Chauvel, who was a mole man.
But really, I think that if I had to make a guess, we know that the bald man is almost definitely the Crimson Man. But the lady, maybe it's not the negative version of us. Maybe it's... Oh, now mine broke. That's concerning. I went to a lot of trouble to make sure this wouldn't break.
Tessa, also known as ASET.
No, I have to double check that at some point. I was having a lot of... There was a period of time when I was setting up the name game thing where like random individual sound clips would not fire off of the Stream Deck for the ones I'm doing locally. Like the file would still be there. It would still see the file. It would find it in the randomizer, but it wouldn't play the sound clip. It's weird. So just join the stream with the resub. Oh, wait, sorry,
Shall
I'm
we
late.
sculpt some flesh friends then?
No need to apologize, but you may need to help someone sculpt some flesh friends as a punishment. Also, Timlish, thank you for 10 gift subs. Really bank on those extra bits, huh? Yeah, alright. Well, thank you for reminding me to do that. God, I really got to get in that habit. If people want to, like, yell at me at the start of streams to make sure that's running for a while, that's fine. So far, it's the only thing I have running off StreamerBot, but, like, it's important that it works. It's been rough, but I will help make the flesh friends. I mean, I think making flesh friends will make you feel better, but I'm sorry it's been rough. Let's ask this guy about scrying mirrors.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Dude says he will yell, but he probably won't hear. I don't know, I got pretty good hearing. Also, Demolition's implied question was, do we think that the mysterious drug dealers are Cetacean, I'm Just Boba, that's a fun one, Blue Frankie TTV, Maka is Dead, 8 Push K8, oh that's fun, Asian God Doa, DOA, Wire 23, Berto Two Tact. I feel like there's something more clever to that name than I'm interpreting. Nino to TikTok Sir Twitch. That's a crazy name. Or Glider _ Roos. I don't know.
I'll push it. Beep.
Could be anyone, really. Need the sweating emote. I saw it tease us with new emotes. I didn't take a close look at them. Is there actually like a new set?
Huh? The what mirrors?
Oh, that is good. Good sweating face. That looks like, is his name just Mr. Face? The guy from, like, Nick Jr., who, like, is the entire screen of a solid color with a face drawn on it? That's the vibe I get from that.
Never mind.
Let's ask him about the King of Kings Catholic Church.
Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
Nope, never went in a church since Catholic school. Fuck that shit.
Reminded you of Super Meat Boy. I can see that. He's square. He's meat. Let's ask this guy about author Deborah St. Clair.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair, the latest Soothsayer victim?
Look, I know nothing about no murders,
That should remove the vast majority of remaining options, which is nice. Interestingly, he says he doesn't know anything about murders, but I can still ask him about the Soothsayer.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
I assume he'll just be like, it's in the newspapers because it's the 90s.
That crazy killer? Nothing. FaZe ain't that much of a creep.
Desuhiko Thunderbolt.
Ooh, can we ask him about Desuhiko Thunderbolt? Desuhiko Thunderbolt, not a good character. Extremely good name to say. Can we agree on that? Desuhiko Thunderbolt just sounds really good. Even the way he says it in that clip just makes it so clear that the voice actor's like, yeah, Desuhiko Thunderbolt. It rules.
Do you know the Azure Sky Motel?
Sure, stayed there a few years back.
You heard there was a Soothsayer murder there, right?
Oh shit. That was the place? Nah, I didn't know that.
What do you know about this photo of me?
I don't want to show that to him.
What about
You
this
smoke?
cigarette machine?
Tobacco? Fuck
Giraffe.
no. That shit kills people.
These people, like, legitimately confuse me, man. I get that there's a distinction, but, like, to me, it's just, like, it's all, like, unknown quantities. Like, it's so weird to me to draw that line so hard. I mean, particularly for me, like, and I know I'm, like, the real outlier on this, and I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but, like, it feels really odd to me for people to, like, normalize drinking, but be like, tobacco's insane. I mean, to me, they're both bad, to be clear. My opinion is both bad. Try not to do both. Really either. But, like, it's interesting. They're like, I'll drink poison, but smoking poison? Ridiculous. Can't not get to the next vote level. Thank you for the bits, Demolition. Says tobacco kills people, yet it looks like he's definitely been... this guy has explicitly said to us that he is... I mean, he literally, like, listed, like, I've taken every drug under the sun. Like, LSD, PCP, shrooms, I think are the ones he listed. So, like, he takes drugs, but he's like, yeah, not cigarettes. And again, I understand rationally that there's definitely a difference between cigarettes and, like, those types of drugs. But to me, I'm like, just like, I'm so not interested in drugs at all. Like, to me, personally, it feels weird to be like, I'll do all that stuff, who knows what to my brain. But cigarettes? Don't be crazy, girl. Catherine 2, more like Catherine 2, painful to stand, am I right? Ah, you got me so good, Arcadius. You really do know how it be. I'm gonna be done with this comment. Wait, do you know the pawn
Are you
shop?
a regular customer here at the pawn shop?
You ever see Fear and Loathing? Nah, I'm like vaguely familiar with it conceptually. Because I know it's like referenced a lot, but like, nah, I've never seen it. Don't know that much about it.
Nah, when I need a fence, I got my own guy on the other side of town.
That's an interesting graffiti you've got there.
A single is probably a graffito, isn't it?
Badass, isn't it? It's my tribute to Pyre, the best hit I ever had.
The eye. That's what you saw?
This eye is also drawn on the side of that trash can where he tased this guy, isn't it? Or at least a very similar symbol. Like a red arrowhead sort of thing.
Yeah, the eye of the universe staring back at me.
Ooh, looks like there's a new frog emote in that collection too. Confide in frog? Sometimes I forget to end conversations when I start looking
let you
around.
Peace out.
So she was like, it's really important that we start the day that way. And then, like, again, nothing of value was immediately gained. We don't have a coin with the Thundercats logo on it. It's really interesting how much that catches everyone's attention every time we play this game. Like, when we are in a conversation, that logo, which is, like, also on the back of Kathy Rain's jacket, and thus presumably just, like, her private eye logo, just, like, on a coin that spins around. Guess I'll just leave. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of today. Oh, that's right. I have a book I should look at because sometimes it will like explain what I'm trying to do in a way that the game itself will not do. Yeah, it's definitely like the same symbol. He probably is the one who drew it. But
That
like,
red symbol reminds me of Corey's graffiti. Guess this must be some of his handiwork.
there's an achievement for that, for like figuring that out, I guess. Oh, maybe I should take a picture of like his.
That doesn't need...
Yeah, let me go back and take a photo of his. That's probably a smart guy thing to do. I don't know what I need it for, but like, probably a good idea to have it, right? Choo choo. My mom appears to have gotten an emote of a raccoon inflating a balloon with an interrobang in it. I haven't seen that before. This does look like a new set. Is there some rhyme or reason to like when new hype train emotes get added?
I don't want to waste film on that.
Really? This seems like... I feel like I'm being smart and the game is the one being
I don't
ridiculous.
want to waste film on that.
Every 3 months? Really? 3 months? That's like a very real answer that feels weird. To the church? Oh, hang on. We have an emote. It is a scared monkey. Devotion, do you already have all of the new emotes that appear to have just come out? Oh no, it just didn't give you one? That is highly rude. Maybe more are happening. I see some progress bar loading.
Hello again, Father.
Welcome back, my child.
Let's ask this guy about some drug dealers, huh? Scared monkey is you IRL.
I'm looking for a young drug dealer, a woman with facial scars. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Hi, Critwitch. Welcome to the stream.
I happen to recall a person like that.
What?
A homeless woman whom Ben was helping get back on her feet.
What are the... I like literally just picked a random location and asked the first guy I knew about like a random question I hadn't asked him before, and he's like, I happen to be the exact lead to follow on that.
Wow, really?
Yes, about your age.
Yeah, of course she's about
No
my
drug
age.
dealer to my knowledge, but she had some sort of scars on the side of her face, yes.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely like negative us.
Amazing. Is there anything else you can remember about her?
I'm afraid not. My memory has seen better days, and this was years ago.
For some reason recently I had some ideas for like more possible emotes to add to the channel. Some of them are really dumb. Like, one of them isn't really relevant to the channel at all, but I just had this, like, vision that it would be really fun to have an emote depicting, like, an animated emote depicting Time Wizard from Yu-Gi-Oh! Who has this, like, obvious sort of, like, spiral blur effect when, like, he does his, like, time magic effect. And, like, I thought it'd be cool to have, like, Time Wizard pop up and then, like, spiral out of existence and then pop up again. But, like, I have no idea. Like, it's just, like, not really applicable to anything. It just sounded really cool when I randomly thought about it.
Well, is there any more information about her somewhere? Maybe in Ben's records, if he had any.
This is where I'd keep Ben's records, if I had any.
I suppose I could check, but I would need a name.
You should do it. I mean, the trick is, like, I do, if I want any animated emotes, I do have to find an emote artist who does them. Because I really like the emote artist who's done all the emotes that I have. But at least the last, like, 2 times I, like, talked to her, she said that she, like, didn't have enough experience to feel comfortable taking a commission to do them. And, like, didn't really plan on doing that. I have considered just, like, trying to throw, like, a lot of money at her and, like, give her, like, an inordinate timeline and be like, if you want to figure it out, I will, like, fund this. Because, like, I did have an idea for an animated Squirtle emote I would really like. Like, I think it'd be okay to have it as, like, a regular non-animated emote, but I think it'd be way better as an animated emote. I already default to ahoy for my greeting on every channel. That makes me happy. You would use that everywhere. I mean, the thing that's fun about it is, like, you don't actually have to know that much about Yu-Gi-Oh! To be like, this magical clock is like, doing magic and disappearing. Like, you know, if you're, like, doing if, like, a flashback happened in a video game or something, you could be like, Time Wizard, go! I don't know. I'm on the fence. It's something I've thought about. I might do it. Like, I don't really know what the restrictions are on, like, how many, like, frames of animation or whatever you can have in an animated emote. But, like, I do genuinely think that that is a simple enough animation that, like, you could do it. Not 100%. Should throw money at her to figure it out. It supports people you know that do good work. I mean, the only question I have is, like, A, I don't want to come across, like, insulting, and B, she may genuinely still not have interest in doing it, which is totally fine. But, like, I do feel like there's, like, a legitimate, like, exploratory cause to just be like, hey, if your concern is, like, having a deadline or something, like, take your time. And, like, if you're interested in doing it, like, I will pay you, like, dumb money, because I really like your work, and to me it is important to support artists, and it never once has felt like wasted money to overpay an artist to do commission work. I have not commissioned a lot of artwork in my time, but I generally tend to try to pay more. There was, like, one issue one time where, like, I tried to, like, tip someone extra, and, like, their account wasn't set up in a way where they would, like, take money beyond what they had, like, invoiced, and I was, like, bummed about it. I was like, no, like, I want to give you more money. Can you do that? And she's like, I can't do that. And I was like, but
Darn. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, so I have to find
Philo Pennyworth.
That's a great point. We need to find a name. It could be Philo Pennyworth. It could be. What do you think this guy knows the bald man too?
I'm looking for a drug dealer. Tall, bald, and supposedly menacing.
I wouldn't have anything to do with criminal brutes like that.
You don't play, like, cards with him or nothing? What was the purchase that you had the goal for earlier in the year? That was for Big Flareon, who should be coming soon. I saw a post on, like, the PokePlush subreddit, like, today or maybe yesterday, where someone said that, like, they were finally starting to see people post photos of, like, life-size evolutions that were, like, like, people were, like, reselling them on eBay because people are scum, and they were, like, scalping them or whatever. But, like, it was still an indicator that, like, they were probably, like, getting to people. Now, I will admit, and I won't go into detail, that, like, I probably will not get the normal alerts on that shipping. for complicated reasons, but it should be coming relatively soon. But no, I mean, you all will know when the Flareon gets here. Now, I will confess that it may be a minute before I can figure out a good way to display the Flareon, because we discussed like last week, I think in some great detail, maybe it was a week before that, but like recently in one of these streams we were talking about how to display the Flareon, and I was like, I have been thinking about it, and the answer is a resounding, I am not really sure how to do it, but it is important to me that it be displayed, and I will figure out some way, even if initially it is bad, like all things, including the lighting and the framing of everything in this room. Eventually, I aspire to have this room look nice. If you have any tips, tricks, or thoughts on how I can do that, let me know. In the meantime, let's ask this guy about street artist Corey Faze Finnegan.
Do you recognize the name Corey Finnegan? He also goes by the moniker Faze.
Speaks in the third person, high as a kite.
That name doesn't sound familiar to me.
I don't want to ask him about that.
I don't want to ask about that either. Thank you, though.
I don't want to ask him about that.
I want to ask him about church, a thing he cares about.
All right, I'm heading back out.
Goodbye, young lady.
Planting a corner and a rug to tie the room together. I don't know, man. I feel like you run a really big risk when you let a rug tie a room together. It might be secondhand trauma from The Big Lebowski, but like, if something happens to that rug, the whole room's toast. And if something really bad happens to that rug, then like you're just gonna have to spend your whole life telling people about what happened to that rug. So, it kind of suggests that a thing that I need to do today is actually find out the name of that lady, which feels like ridiculously unlikely to have happened. Exactly, what if a Chinaman urinates on it? I mean, it's a real concern. Tens of Americans maybe have some equivalent thing happen, I don't know. God, it sure feels like I'm gonna have to go to the city library, but like, what would I do at the city library? I'm gonna go see Eileen. I don't think she has any information for me, but I would like to talk to her and see her frog. Confide in frog?
Still glued to your desk on a Saturday, huh?
Sorry, my sister was playing Hades 2 on her stream last Sunday. I have not played any of the game myself, but apparently now like the respawn point in Hades 2 has a frog, and there's a button that lets you confide in frog, and well, it's already my favorite thing about that game. And I've seen someone else play it for like an hour and a half, maybe.
Well, you know, that promotion isn't gonna earn itself. What's up?
She just sounds so much like sterner and sadder in this game. She's had a really rough 3 years. I do also like the WoW Frog emote. Big WoW Frog, very good.
Rumors say that one of the people dealing pyre is a woman our age with facial scars. Sound familiar?
No, I haven't heard of a person described like that.
So I've learned that one of the people dealing pyre is supposed to be a bald, tall, and quite intimidating man.
Bald, tall, wearing nothing at all. Everything about him rhymes. It's weird.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd remember a person like that.
Do you know who Corey Finnegan is? Also goes by the nickname Faze?
It really does feel like we're just doing name game at this point, right? Hey, Eileen, are you familiar with...
It's a Kemi the Reptilian.
A Kemi the Reptilian?
No, I don't know who that is.
I'm not surprised.
I don't want to ask her about that.
Did I try asking her about Frog?
Still keeping that little bugger around, huh?
Oh, I wouldn't part with Ribbit for the world.
There's not like 6 achievements for that?
Pockets Poseidon.
I'll let you get back.
All right.
Are you familiar with the particular brand of Poseidon that gave the gift of legs and feet to mermaids to acquire currencies in the foreign labor market? No? Just me? I don't know why this is something that came to mind. I know my mom is watching Dancing with the Stars this season. I watch Dancing with the Stars like on and off, more off than on in recent years, but that's because there was a whole thing where like Tyra Banks took over as executive producer and like dumpstered the show for a few years, and then I kind of just like stopped thinking about it. But this has been a really good season. They had a really crazy week this week. They did Rock and Roll Hall of Fame week, and they had 2 like live performances from Chicago and Kool and the Gang, which was actually really rad. But the thing I wanted to point out is the absurdity of like they've been like cycling through guest judges, and like a lot of them have been like people who like performed on the show in the past and had like a connection to the show, and then this week they were just like, and Flava Flav. It's like, truly Flava Flav. That's not like a joke or a meme. You got Flava Flav to be a judge on your serious show, on your real TV show. And let me tell you, his judging was not serious. Did AI ever make Mizuki being the granddaughter of a mermaid or whatever canon? Oh, you mean from that like weird thing? Wait, is that what you're talking? There's like a weird thing that happens in like Sosujima's like koi pond, where like Date talks to like a real mermaid spirit or something. What's the thing where Mizuki is? I vaguely remember this, but it's like some really specific reference, isn't it, Castle Lord? I don't even remember which of the 2 original Somnium Files games that would be in. There's something like that, right? Like Mizuki's granddad, something mermaid. I don't remember the full context of it. Mystery 8, thanks for joining us here on the stream. Also, thanks to Demolition for the ongoing gift sub on month 4 of 6. How you doing, Mystery? I hope you're having a good week. I'm sitting here on the loud motorcycle screen because I don't know what to do. Hey, let's talk to I assume the guy's outside the cabin because it's not raining. He is not. And I assume nothing of value has changed. Seemed as surprised as everyone else that he was judging. You know what? I think that's true. There was a moment that I thought was really funny where like he told one of the contestants in his like comments on their performance that like, I'm gonna give you like a double 5, and that's for real. And I think everyone was like, I don't know what that means. What would it mean to give someone a double 5? And then like he held up 2 5 paddles, which he shouldn't be able to do because that's not how the show works. And then they just interpreted it as a 10 out of 10. And it's like, sure, close enough, that's fine. I have to minimize the streamer bot window because it's making me a little insane. For it to just be in that corner where it's distracting me. Okay, I don't think there's anything to do here unless I need more lavender. Alright, we're at the portion of the game where I'm going to every location at random. Let's get ready to go. Talk to a hippie named Meadow.
I guess she's not home.
She's not home. That maybe saves me some trouble. Let me steal her sunflower.
Not a big fan of the flower, but roasted seeds? Yum.
Fine, I'll go to the library. No, I already hate it here.
Hey, weren't you at the Club of Hearts the other day?
Club of Hearts. I knew it was 2 card
Guilty
things.
as charged. I couldn't help but notice your performance as well. First time?
That obvious, huh?
I had a hunch. Impressive debut, nonetheless.
You said a bunch of words at random in a 5-7-5 syllable distribution, all right.
Thanks, buddy. So, I had a few things to ask.
She says Halloween was like a whole week ago, which feels like 1,000 years. Yeah, I don't know, like... I wouldn't say that this felt like a particularly long week, but God, it sure feels like Halloween was like truly like a year ago or something. Like, insane.
Certainly. Go ahead.
For me, it's probably just the fact that I've like spent time doing something that wasn't like trying to set up the stream, and just like sudden like the small influx of like spare time in my day has felt like a huge difference. But like I don't know, there's other stuff going on in the world too. Hey, do you know the name of a scarred woman who's roughly my age, roughly my height, and probably just like a cursed version of me from a negative reality?
There's this drug dealer I'm pursuing. A woman my age with some kind of facial scars.
Okay. Now there's like a lot of people in the world who like understand that I, Kathy Rain, am a private investigator, and like it's normal for me to talk about like investigating criminals to some degree. My sister, this guy just runs a library. It seems insane. Like, I just came over here. You're gonna say there's a drug dealer I'm pursuing with no context? That's, I don't know about all that.
I'm afraid I don't know anyone with that description.
I'm looking for a drug dealer. Supposedly a tall, bald, and quite intimidating man.
I can't help with that. I haven't come across such a person.
I'm glad people like the Halloween stream. I really like doing the high concept streams, of which I would group really only the only real ones I've done are Guess Kagami and Return to the Past, the Slay the Spire time loop stream. But like I think those are like probably my two favorite streams I've done. Setting aside that I ended up having some pretty underwhelmed feelings about the game we played alongside the Kagami stream. Just, I'm looking for a drug dealer. Like, hard pause. Just like, oh, I'm sorry. I did mean something more specific.
I don't want to ask him about that. I don't want to.
It's weird that I still have scissors. But I guess if I can't have knife, it's the next best thing.
I don't want to show.
Okay, doesn't know anything about the park rangers. I don't know why I'm here. Okay, what's, hang on.
Very well.
Let me leave and never speak of this again, and then let me open my notebook. Let me look at the pink page. So I really am meant to get... This is really my list for today? That seems insane. Like, given the basically none information I have, and the fact that Kathy Rain doesn't understand that she is in, like, a written narrative that isn't in a purely chaotic world where the likelihood that the drug dealer is, like, us in a goatee, like, the notion that I would be able to use the hard information I have to, like, confirm the female drug dealer's identity seems truly preposterous.
You can rent.
Boy, oh boy. No, you know what? Let's do this the hard way. Let me drill down on each of these and see if she's going to tell me something that the game thinks I should already know.
I gotta talk to Corey Finnegan and learn what he knows. Hannah Verdew said that he's had direct contact with the pyre dealers. I need to try and identify the male pyre dealer, the intimidating bald man. Didn't I see a guy like that somewhere? Where was it?
Well, unfortunately, you seem to have forgotten the pain you felt in a dream, which I know is the conventional wisdom, but at the same time, it seems to be putting you in a tight spot.
One of the pyre dealers is supposedly a woman with some sort of facial scars. I should ask around and see if someone recognizes that description.
This is the costume button was great, and the donuts looked amazing, and the costume was legit. Well, obviously my mom helped with the costume, which was a big help. The donuts did look good. I feel like I ended up eating about half of them. Because, like, once we got done with what was on the stream, I had, like, all of the remaining, like, ones I had particularly liked. The pumpkins and the haunted mansion ones. And then, you know, I had, like, the green disappointment, the, like one plain glazed donut, and like two of the like really unpleasant to eat like trick-or-treat bag donuts, and I was like, well, I don't really like wasting food, but I'm not sure I love wasting calories with food I don't want to eat. So I feel like I got my money's worth out of the dozen, but I think it is the most I've thrown away from any Halloween dozen ever, because as I stated at the start of that stream, like, I think it probably is, like, at least from a monetary perspective, the worst dozen of my experience buying the Krispy Kreme dozen.
One of the pyre dealers is supposedly a woman with...
Okay, so then I guess the game is hinting that I literally just ask every idiot under the sun about these people until someone recognizes them. Now, I did get, like, a vague hit from Father, I don't know his name. Probably your favorite Halloween stream, not joking. I mean, I appreciate that, and I hope that's true, because I put in the effort in a way that I felt could truly be that. Should ask these random background people who are trying to study if they've seen a drug dealer. Man, I super duper would if I could. There aren't even like that many people I could talk to, huh? I guess I'll go talk to Rachel Wang. Is that her name? Like, there just like aren't that many people I could talk to in the places I can go. It's kind of crazy.
Standard.
Hello, I'm definitely Eileen Summers. I'm looking for a drug dealer. Long pause.
No answer.
She's not home? Well, now what? Whoa, wait a minute, wait. Oh no. I'm not sure if this is right, but I haven't really been able to lockpick anything, so...
Nah, I have no reason to believe Rachel is hiding anything worth that kind of risk.
I think it's good of me to have it in mind that that's a thing I could do, but it makes sense for me not to go in there. Oh no, Sydney's doing mad. Everyone hide. I did not make time today to watch the new Glass Cannon podcast, I'll say that. I got waylaid because for some, so like I follow Second Wind on YouTube, because, you know, they sort of picked up the Escapist Slack, and Yahtzee went over there and a bunch of other people making content about video games. And to be honest, I don't watch a ton of it these days, but every now and then something catches my attention. And like I think I've mentioned on stream recently that like I've been doing a rewatch of the TV show Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which I haven't watched since like high school or something, and that was like the first time I ever watched it. And then like randomly, like some podcast of theirs I'd never listened to before, that's like almost exclusively, well no, I guess it's like about half and half, like video games and movies or something, but like it was like randomly just like the two hosts talk about Deep Space Nine for nearly 3 hours, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And it was actually really interesting because like one of the dudes who was like hosting the podcast had like this deep well of knowledge about like production stuff and like the personalities and like writing styles of specific like writers who wrote for Star Trek at that time. It just like added a bunch of context that like I would not, like, even if I wanted to come up with that, it would take so much time to like research that. Not Jack, the other one. His name is something with a D? It's like the first time I've ever watched or like listened to their podcast. But like Jack is, yeah, Derek? I think that's right, Derek? But like Jack is the guy who himself is like watching Deep Space Nine for the first time, but the other guy like super knows everything about it. So there wasn't anyone at this place. There wasn't anyone on the hill. I already asked the librarian. Am I supposed to like call someone from my house? Eileen didn't know. This guy kind of knew. Yeah, I think I had... Like, there's literally nothing for me to do other than to, like, call people from my house. I don't know who I can call. Ghostbusters, perhaps? Reaffirm my love for Garrick. Garrick is such a good character. Like, I liked him the first time around, but then, like, just the second he came back on screen, it's like, oh, yeah, Garrick's really good. Who's Josh Office? Is that the guy we got fired? I don't think he's gonna like it if I call asking him about drug dealers.
After what happened the last time he was here? No thanks.
Okay, that does seem to be the guy. Why can't I call Lucas, my friend Lucas? Garak is your favorite Star Trek character in all the series? I think that's a very respectable pick. Deep Space Nine has a lot of good characters, but then also has some really weird characters. Like, I want to like Dax, but on my second watch, I'm like, man, Dax does not contribute as much to this show as I thought she did. I'm only doing this because it's literally the only thing I could think to do. I don't expect this to work.
The Azure Sky Motel, your oasis in Cassidy. How may I help you?
Hi again. Kathy Rain here. I had a few more questions to ask.
All right, then.
How about a woman fitting my description but with scars?
There's this drug dealer I'm pursuing.
I really wish you'd stop starting conversations
with some kind
that
of
way.
facial scars.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't associate with criminals.
Oh, then you're gonna love my next question.
I'm looking for a drug dealer. Supposedly a tall, bald, and quite intimidating man.
I don't know any drug dealers, so I can't help you with that.
I don't want to ask him about...
Oh, maybe I can ask him about Rose's lover. Wasn't Rose the one who was killed there?
Since we spoke last, I've learned that Rose Taylor had an affair with a mental patient where she worked.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. Like I told you, I don't pry into my tenant's private business.
I mean, I respect where this guy's coming from. At the same time, it's really pissing me off that he just doesn't know anything.
Have you heard of Pyre?
The what now?
Pyre. It's supposed to be some local drug.
Lady, I don't know how many different ways or times I can tell you that I don't deal in criminal affairs.
Oh, I can't say I've heard of that. We don't condone the use of narcotics in our establishment.
Huh. On paper, maybe. I'm sure you turned a blind eye as long as the cash keeps rolling in. I don't want to.
Maybe I can ask him. Let me ask him about my
I don't
cat.
need to ask. I don't need to ask him about anything in the room.
That's a really funny line of dialogue. I totally understand the mechanical purpose of, like, please don't spend time asking strange man on the phone about things in the room. But, like, it's just a really, like, it's just a really inorganic thing to say, even in the context of, like, adventure game protagonists, like, narrating internal thoughts. Like, that feels especially weird. It is kind of funny at Demolition's espousing some thoughts on Deep Space Nine. I'm trying not to go too deep into the Star Trek talk at risk of alienating those of you who may not be into Star Trek, but boy, I could go for a while, especially because I've been watching Deep Space Nine recently. But, like, there is something really interesting about how, like, Gene Roddenberry's, like, really apparent humanism and, like, pro-sexuality stance is at odds with, like, even, like, mid-late 90s aversion to, like, any portrayal of, like, non-heteronormative relationships. Like, they do skirt the issue sometimes with, like, sci-fi stuff, and, like, there's occasions where, like, you know, two of the characters on Deep Space Nine are, like, really, like, homosexual relationship coded, but, like, it's not explicit, but, like, there is something really interesting about, like, how it's so, like, ingrained in the philosophy of, like, what Star Trek is. I mean, like, Star Trek is like, I mean, I think first and foremost the humanism slant is sort of like, with enough time and experience and trial and error, humanity is capable of being, like, an advanced near utopian society. And that's interestingly just sort of coupled with the sexuality and the notion that, like like love is just a net positive, and so like there's no reason to like hate on any type of relationship that brings like meaning to people. Even in the 70s, he wanted a gay or trans character. I don't know the specifics of that, but that definitely sounds like Roddenberry. Also, it feels in line with the character of Kirk.
That's
Okay, I'm
all.
done talking to this guy, and I'm also, I think, out of ideas. It feels like it is very strongly implied that the way I'm meant to progress is to ask random people about the identity of probably particularly the lady, but both the bald guy and the lady. And I genuinely think I have asked every conceivable person on the map. You know what? Let me try one other. This didn't work last time. Want me to guide this? We may be back in guide territory, which sucks because we're like, strictly speaking, like 10 minutes into like day 4 or whatever this is. But like, just this, like, again, like my feeling is just like, I'm really surprised that the game's interpretation is that my goal is to like confirm the identity of these people I basically just heard of.
No reason to go up there right now.
Thanks for the raid, Letters. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I guess Rachel isn't on the roof, which
Eric's
is not
apartment
great.
under lock and seal.
Is there like... Ooh, here's another random thought. Click, 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 click. To come raid since normally I don't stream. I saw the notice that you were streaming Balatron. I was like, I can't remember the last time Letters was streaming on a Friday. I probably missed something. I mean, in fairness, I have made a lot of Letter streams in a long time. I used to make them like as often as I could, and then life got hard, and I'm sorry for that. But you should also check out Letters channel, because Letters rules and has very similar interests to me in a lot of her game selections. So if you like the stuff I play, you'll probably like the stuff she's doing too. Going on a trip and I'll be missing my usual... That's a good use of Okie Dokie. Missing the usual weekend morning streams for 2 weeks. Well, that's a good reason to do a Friday stream. I hope it's a good trip. Is that like feeding into like a Thanksgiving sort of trip with the family? What was I gonna do? I was gonna go into the... I was gonna see if I could break into Meadows Trail. I have no idea what I would hope to find there, but again, I'm like really light on ideas.
Nah, there's no reason to break into Meadows' trailer.
I mean, it'd be funny, right? Going to see family? That's nice. I'm actually missing my stream tomorrow so I can spend time with my family. I sort of initiated this tradition in recent years where, like, the first, like, available weekend in November, we make, like, a long weekend, and I take, like, a day off work, and we just watch, like, the Hallmark movies that have come out since the start of the season, which is usually in, like, mid-October. Yeah, the state of U.S. airbase travel. Yeah! I mean, it's gonna be a rough Thanksgiving from the sounds of it. I mean, I don't... On the one hand, I almost hope that, like, the government shutdown stays in place, because I feel like it is well-intentioned and kind of important to hold that line against, like, the bad stuff going on in the United States here in 2025. But, like, also, like, yeah, it's gonna be not that much time before it's really wrecking people's lives. The Snap situation is super bad already. Hallmark movies? Oh, yeah, mystery. Everyone, it's so funny. I really don't think I'm, like, that complicated of a person, but, like, people are always mystified by, I think, 3 things, but, like, if you're here, you already know about the stuffed animals. So, like, 2 things, which is, like, my taste in music, which is, like, as Pandora put it, back in the early days of Pandora, helping to figure out people's taste in music. Breathy female vocals and busy electronic hats, which basically means electronic music where women sing about sad things. And Hallmark movies. Huge unironic fan of Hallmark movies. Absolutely huge fan. Never hear anyone say that. Well, you've heard me now. I don't really know how it started. Like, I think some combination of my parents would just, like, put them on when we had, like, spare time around the holidays, like Thanksgiving and stuff. And then, like, at a certain point, we became, like, really hardcore about it. and usually watch all or nearly all of the ones released in a year. And let's just say that's not a small number of movies to watch. 10% of all air traffic from the top 40 airports. Basically all of it. I mean, it's a lot. I forget what the figure was. I heard some, like, figure that was actually really surprising about how many planes had already been affected. Discord Hallmark viewing? That's an interesting thought. Elaborate on how you would like to see that implemented. Finally found canned pumpkin. Oh, that is exciting, Neko. Congrats. I'm still weirded out. I think I mentioned this, but like, Dairy Queen like had a pumpkin pie themed dessert in October, and then when like November came around, like before Halloween hit, they like transitioned to like peppermint bark specialty flavor, and I'm like, but that's like a winter flavor, and like you did the November flavor in October. What? 1,500 flights canceled. That's a huge number considering how long that's been going on. Yikes, forever. Okay, Demolition, if you already have been looking at a guide, do you have a hint for me? Oop, did I break something? Yeah, that is one of the tricks about like trying to get people. If people have like a passive interest in watching Hallmark movies, it's tough because like Hallmark is not the most accessible thing. They've been making strides in recent years to like divest themselves from being like all in on the Hallmark channel. They do have their own like streaming service, which I genuinely believe is fairly superfluous, like so many of the ones introduced in recent years. But like they also have deals with like Netflix and Peacock, where they like share some of their holiday movies. Most of them are from like not this year though, which is kind of interesting. This should be day 4, I believe. That's what my last save file says. I think that's right. And the last thing we did of relevance is that we talked to FaZe, and I don't think there's anything left to do with him, but I could be wrong about that. And the only other thing that really mattered at all... Well, I guess we, like, talked to the hotel guy, but that didn't really matter. But we, like, asked the priest about the woman with the scarred face, and he said, like, if we knew her name, he might be able to help. Closer to Christmas, things get busy, so it seems like there's less time to watch Hallmark movies. That is true. It's one of the reasons why, if you know we intend to watch a high percentage of them, it helps to like start early. Going from the top. All right, we're not that far in, so that shouldn't take us too long. The pacing of this game is whack. Corey, Ranger Station. Wait, Ranger Station? Wait, Ranger Station? Okay, hold please. Is this... Okay, I think I understand... Okay. I'm gonna do something, and it might advance the plot, and then if it does, then we're gonna get mad. Okay? So just prepare yourselves.
Hey, FaZe?
Yo, what up?
You're gonna tase the FaZe? For one, I love the way you asked that question, Cotillion. And two, no, I'm going to show him this random brochure from my inventory that I don't think I have any reason to connect with him, based on the fact that Demolition said something about going to a ranger station, which is a location I don't have. And I think the only way I could possibly open a new location by having a conversation with this guy...
Hey, have a look at this. Do you recognize any of these men?
Oh, fuck! That's him! The tall, bald guy!
You sure? The man called Vic?
200%. That's the pyre dealer.
Well then, I guess it's time to go visit the ranger station.
Dude, these games are on a list of acronym drugs. Are you joking me?
I'll let you get back to...
Peace
Are
out.
you kidding me with this?
All right.
That's such a long shot. That's like aiming for the dang moon. What are you talking about with this? That's ridiculous. This hasn't been relevant since I picked it up. I'm supposed to... See, this is a real problem. This I think is a genuine real problem with the Kathy Rain games, especially Kathy Rain 2. It's not necessarily problematic that these games, or this game in particular, is so heavy on these like weird in-game like periodical resources. Like, it's a little weird, but like, yeah, these have been in like adventure games forever. But like, what would make me check this brochure for this information? Like, literally, this hasn't been relevant since I picked it up. And there's nothing about this that, like, connects to him as a person. And the fact that, like, I'm sort of encouraged to look at this, like, once when I pick it up does not register for me, like, oh yeah, this guy's probably the bald guy. Especially because, like, to me, it seems way more likely it's, like, the Crimson guy, and this ain't him. But also, like, honestly, if we could be, like, if I could keep it, like, 100% with you, this guy's not even bald. I say this as a guy with, like, thinning hair and, like, baldness insecurity. Like, this guy ain't even bald. He's got a close-shaved head for real, but that's still hair, dude. That's hair, my guy. Yeah, he's shaved, not bald, right? Like, that's my interpretation. Even when I, like, opened this thing and, like, understood what the game thought I was going to take away from this man is not bald. You got your Kathy Rain haircut yesterday? Well, I bet it's a lot better than not bald. Congrats. I bet it suits you super nicely. Alright, anyway, I guess I'll go to the ranger station now, but, like, it's just frustrating because, like, even having done that, like, I genuinely don't feel like I ever would have done that without a walkthrough. Like, there's just no world in which I'm like, I know. The clue to cracking this wide open is showing a ranger brochure to a drug addict spray painting a wall outside a pawn shop. Because, like, there's just nothing that drew a connection there. And again, even if I was to have looked at that picture, like, truly, I think even if I got so desperate as to, like, look through all the articles in my inventory and look at this, I still don't think in my mind, would be like, oh, look at this guy. This guy's probably the drug dealer. Because, like, for one, my operating theory is something different that still seems equally, if not more plausible than this. And two, man is not bald. Okay. Let's leave and be done. Up next, roll of tape and a cat. Oh, I oughta. For a inst undergur. That music, though.
Complimentary refreshments. I'm not thirsty, though. Brochures of various outdoor activities around Bear Creek. Nothing here looks very interesting to me at the moment. Overpriced pictures of landmarks I've seen 100 times? No thanks. I know nothing about fish, but I guess nailing it to the friggin' wall must mean it's not a bad catch.
Let me just go in the back room.
Looks like an office area. No reason to go in there.
Hello there, and welcome to the Bear Creek Ranger Station.
Why aren't you chipper? Cassie, I have a few questions if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all. Happy to help.
I'm looking for a drug dealer.
So I saw in this brochure that a park ranger called Vic works here. Is that correct?
Sure. Ranger Cooper is one of the rangers assigned to this district.
That's a totally normal thing to be true, but something about the way she said that felt really unnatural. Like, it's really important we make some technicality about his employment clear or something.
Ranger Cooper, huh? What's his full name? Can I talk to him?
I mean, wouldn't his name be, like, Victor Cooper?
It's Victor Cooper, but he's off duty right now.
I'm starting to understand why we're not doing so well as a private investigator.
Off duty? For how long? Why?
Oh, shoot! I don't have any of those details.
Okay, again, that feels like a weird way to answer that question. Feels more like just not going to answer that question.
Well, what about a phone number or an address?
Yeah, just dox him 90s style.
I'm not allowed to give out that information. Sorry. You'll have to run it by the chief.
Now, this sounds like the type of lady who would be working this job where she has to interface with people who wander in off the dusty trail. But, like, boy, does she not sound as, like, chipper as the voice actress. And even, like, the way the dialogue was written, where Kathy was like, wow, you're enthusiastic. Like, she seems real frowny.
Well, fine. Let's talk to the chief then.
Oh, double shoot. He's not here on Saturdays. He'll be back on Monday morning.
Oh, double shoot gang. Okay, so today is Saturday and he'll be here on Monday, which means that the maid shows up on Tuesday. Nope, that's Scott Pilgrim. That means that on day 6 we could talk to the chief. I doubt we're waiting that long. Yeah, double shoot is pretty good, not gonna lie.
Well, all right.
Now, regrettably, his name seems less valuable to me than Auntie Kathy Rain. Scott Pilgrim, did I miss a joke? I never remember the wording on it, so I can't reference it properly, but I was like doing math on what day I'd be able to talk to some NPC, and I was trying to allude to the joke that, what's his face, the vegan guy makes in the movie version of Scott Pilgrim, where he's like, you know, the maid doesn't work on weekends, so she'll show up on Monday, and then she'll find you, and you're a mess or whatever. You'll be dust by Tuesday. Yeah. I really gotta just, like, commit to memory that bit, because I like a joke that's constructed about how much a joke doesn't work. I mean, I think that's the same reason why I really like that Sam and Max joke, where, like, they're supposed to be pretending that the cow is a person so they don't get in trouble with their landlord. And they're like, it's the cow we've been raising in our apartment with a lampshade on its head. We put it there to fool you into thinking it was a different person. Because today is Friday, and she's off on the weekends, and Monday's a holiday, so Tuesday. Yeah. That's what I was going for. Sarah gets it.
There's this drug dealer I'm pursuing. A woman my age with some kind of facial scars.
Oh, I can't help you there. I haven't seen a person like that.
It is really weird the number of characters in this world. You, like, how you mentioned, like, I'm pursuing a drug dealer. And they're not like, that's sketchy, or like, yikes, please stop talking to me. They're just like, double shoot, can't help you with that one. Hey, how about this drug pyre?
Do you know what pyre is?
Squirtle irritates me. Elaborate, why?
You mean like a fire?
No, this is an illegal drug.
Oh, I must have missed the memo on that one.
She's really excited about not knowing about this drug.
Do you recognize the name Corey Finnegan? He also goes by the moniker Phase.
Doesn't sound like anyone I know. Sorry.
Just absolutely too chipper about not knowing stuff. Well, let me tell you, Sarah, that if you do not like that energy, you would not have liked being on that call with the window installers. Which, incidentally, there is a final phase of the window install that has yet to happen. They're supposed to schedule, like, an inspection to, like, close the matter with the local government. And they called me, like, once, I think, like, outside of business hours or something. Because I, like, didn't find it until the next morning. And I've called, like, every day since I got the voicemail message. And I have not gotten a response yet. Like, their whole office staff at this place is such dog water. Like, they're just so bad to deal with. And, like, they just, like, they all come with that energy of, like, super happy, like, profoundly unable to help you. Comes across like they're super happy not to help you. Like, not a great experience. Hey, do you know about scrying mirrors, crazy lady?
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Well, they're part of the Soothsayer's MO, right? I
That's
haven't come
interesting. I feel
across
like
one
most
in my
people don't even know
private
that.
life, though.
Hey, do you know a lady whose name is a rune?
What do you know about Jane Doe, the 4th Soothsayer victim?
Nothing much, sorry. Besides Debbie, I'm not in the loop on the Soothsayer victims.
So, Deborah Sinclair. Must have been quite a shock, huh?
Yeah, it was horrible. Everyone around here loved Debbie.
How was that a room? If you weren't around for like the end of the last stream, so Jane Doe, to my recollection, I believe it should be Jane Doe, is the I forget which victim of the Soothsayer killer, like the second or third or something. But one of the victims was burned to death, and as a result, they were not identified and are known as a Jane Doe. And then we had this weird, like, supernatural vision of like a burned person made of ash being like, "My name is a room," and we're like, "Oh my God, are you Jane Doe?" And she's like, "No, that is not my name because my name is a room."
Did you know her personally?
I wouldn't say that. I just met her a couple of times. Lovely lady, though. She'll be missed.
Seriously, I feel like this girl would just sarcastically say boo-hoo. Yeah, I see that. Hey, what do you know about the King of Kings Catholic Church?
Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
Nope, I haven't heard of that one. Okie dokie.
We had burned corpse gore. No, I mean, like, literally, if you go to my YouTube channel, I made that the thumbnail on the last one because it was like the most visually interesting thing I could find on the timeline. And it's really just like a golem made of ash. It's like not particularly gory, but it is kind of spooky.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
Horrific stuff. But I don't know much about the murder that happened here on park grounds. Only senior rangers dealt with that.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Sarah. I feel like the way she said horrific stuff really implied that she was gonna say like shucks, and like that just obviously feels weird. I'm really hoping that when we get the name of the woman whose name is a room, that it will feel clever and not really dumb, like showing like a drug addict a brochure for like a ranger hut or something.
Do you know the Azure Sky Motel?
Jack's forever.
Haven't heard of it. Sorry.
Does the name Rachel Wang mean anything to you?
Nope. Sorry.
Do you know who Tabitha Caldwell is?
No, I don't think so.
I encourage you all to have conversations like an adventure game character for a week. See how that goes. Hi, Kane. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy getting caught up on VODs whenever you have a chance.
I don't want to ask her about that. That's the biggest ceiling fan I have ever seen.
Tell me about it. We wouldn't be able to hear ourselves talking if it was turned on.
Oh boy, is that sure a clue. It's gotta be. It's Servine. It's gotta be. Hey, you want to take a selfie?
I don't want to show that.
Oh, that's right. It's 1998. You want to see my selfie?
I don't want to ask her about.
Oh, that's right. Social media doesn't exist yet. How do you feel about running with scissors?
It's past Max in a time-traveling elevator.
Past Max in a time-traveling elevator would know how to solve this problem. Mainly through the use of time travel.
I came across one of these brochures of yours.
Nice, isn't it? I was the one who came up with the idea. I love community building.
Which community building? Do you know a woman whose name is a room?
I don't want to ask. What's in there?
That's Chief Walker's office, but he's not in right now.
I'm developing this picture in my mind where I somehow find a way to turn on the fan and then like, maybe I like call this office or get someone to call this office and then turn on the fan and then sneak into the dude's office. Hey, any chance you could add Tama Hot Tamale to the name board? Is that a Somnium Files thing? I don't remember that. If it is, you're gonna have to steer me to when in the game it is, because boy, do I not want to spend more time in the Nirvana Initiative if I don't have to, and I don't know where that's from. I still have not gotten Jigglypuff as seen from above. Boo me. Also numbers, boo. It's one of her Somnium introns. Boo this man.
I don't want to ask. I don't want to.
I was not saying boo earns. Alright, well, I guess we're done.
That's
here.
all
You're more.
Since I have a better description of both drug dealers now, it's probably worthwhile to return to some of the earlier witnesses.
Would we say that I have a better description of the female drug dealer? Because I wouldn't say that. But the game has determined that it is time to move on, and that means we're probably going back to the church just based on what we encountered earlier, which was him having some vague idea of what we were talking about. Boy, we're probably not going to finish this day today, huh? We'll find out. You'll find out. I'm about to summon it. That Yu-Gi-Oh line randomly pops into my head at like the weirdest times.
Another thing.
I forget exactly what the setup is, but like the guy with like a really cartoonish like accent voice like threatens Yugi. He's like, I'm gonna summon my most dangerous monster. And then like for some reason Yugi's response is, what is it? Tell me! And then he's like, you'll find out. I'm about to summon it. But like just every part of that writing is just like so like woefully roundabout and like just needlessly time wasting.
Yes?
Do you know Victor Cooper?
I'm trying to find a park ranger named Victor Cooper. Do you know him?
No, I don't know that person.
Well, I guess I'll just get bent then.
I don't want to show that to him.
Oh, now we don't want to show people the photo of the brochure. Can I interest you in eating farts?
All right, I'm heading back out.
Goodbye, young lady.
Who do I know who would know a drug dealer that I'm pursuing? I don't know, maybe the librarian? Art guy? I mean, the art guy pointed us in that direction. I doubt the name would be that much help. He was just like, yes, this bald man is the danger guy. I don't feel like me, like, saying his name would really help. But it is a thought.
Hey.
Yo.
It doesn't even count as, like, a new
Peace
thing to
out.
talk about. I mean, maybe Eileen can use the power of, like, 90s computers to look him up or something.
Hey, E. One more thing.
Yeah?
More thing.
I'm trying to find a park ranger named Victor Cooper. Do you know him?
I don't. No.
I'll let you get back.
All right, see you later.
I feel like they cheaped out on the microphone that they got the voice actors for Eileen. I feel like it catches her breathing equally as much as it catches her dialogue. This is the guy who like can't set up his own stupidly expensive microphone because he's an idiot. So not this guy, not her. Meadow's not there. I guess I'll go to the library. Previous witnesses. I mean, that really strongly suggests priest, doesn't it?
One more thing.
Yeah?
No one else is really like a witness.
I'm
huh?
trying to find a park.
Alas, I don't.
Boy, this feels like another thankless
Thanks.
day
Very well.
playing Kathy Rain 2. I just heard he's an idiot, and I assume you're talking about me. No, Cotillion. If I say someone's an idiot, they're almost always either a video game character or me. Of course I know him. He's me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Clip clop, clip clop.
He's talking way too long and none of it sounds true at all.
I mean, there ain't nobody to talk to. Did the guy show up at the cabin since I left? Is that? This game has a special way of making me feel both ends of the frustration spectrum with adventure games.
Huh.
I'm sorry, slippers?
Aren't those Rachel's?
suddenly we're going to the roof? Don't love that. Don't love it.
Oh no.
Go talk to your mom again. I can't go back there because I pissed her off too much when I gave her those cigarettes. What do we think she is holding? So there's some sick tasing maneuver I can use to safely do this? I really doubt it. Shucks. No. We're playing the irreverent biker girl, not the one who runs the cabin service or whatever.
Hey there, Rachel.
Oh, it's you. I wonder what went through his mind as he fell. Was he confused?
Oh, double darn. Aw, darn. Yep. Yeah, that's where we're at. So let me hit you with a thought on that regard. I was thinking of consolidating some of our options, because like categorically we have kind of a lot of like positive and negative reactions to things, like Daddy does not approve and aw darn and stuff like that. I was thinking maybe like piling those up into like randomizers like the beep, and then like maybe keeping like some of the particularly favorite ones as like dedicated options. But like if we dig deep enough, maybe we can get like a really passive PG swear one of like double shoot and aw darn and all that. Yeah, like also the no. Yeah, like maybe scrawl. I don't know. We could talk about how deep down the rabbit hole it goes. And like I do feel like, oh yeah, I got from No Sleep for Kaname Date, I have like a really spicy like Tama being ecstatically happy about something, which like I don't exactly have a use for. Yeah, oh my gosh, probably goes in the PG. The PG swears. I understand the idea behind this third option, but since Rachel's like a very faith-based individual, I think if anything that might spur her into being like, well no, like I'll just be with Eric forever. It'll be super swell. So my gut says not that. Now talking about his wishes feels like a good one, maybe?
Probably. But no matter what he felt, I'm sure he wouldn't wish the same for you.
Of course not. He was such a kind, caring man. And I'll never see him again. In this world.
Okay, again, that's sort of my concern. Is that kind of talk? See, again, 3 feels like a bad option of saying, like, why do you think you'll see him in the afterlife? I feel like no good comes from that conversation. I mean, like, you could try to make a really horrible argument that, like, he was, like... Wasn't he, like, hiring prostitutes or something? Like, he was into, like, some weird stuff, and he, like, got into drugs, and it was, like, weird. And it's like, I don't feel like it's gonna make her feel better to be like, that guy that you cared about, he sucked, and he is not going to the same place you are, sister. Like, that feels like bad energy. I'm going with the top one again. He's gone and you need to accept it. I'm not convinced that this is good, but none of these is jumping out of me.
That's right. You won't. He's gone and you need to accept that.
Yes. Time to face the music.
No, see, that sounds bad. When you say face the music, that sounds worse than the thing that I'm talking about.
Lord, forgive me.
No,
Don't.
no, I goofed it. I figured it would be it's a time loop. It's a time loop.
What went through his mind as he fell? Was he confused? Scared?
There was something similar in the first game. All right, listen, I'm just gonna go with the option 3 2 times and see what happens.
No matter what he was thinking, he's dead now.
You're a Christian. How can you say that? For Eric, it's just the beginning. But I'm stuck here alone. Unless, Lord, forgive me.
Oh shoot, that one makes her jump right away. So I was right that was a bad choice, huh?
I wonder what went...
So we made progress with option 1 last time, but I am curious about option 2. If there's a path through this where we just sort of disparage his character until she stops caring about him or something. He was drugged. He may not even have realized what was happening.
He was drugged. He may have not even realized what was happening.
Yes. My poor Eric. Victimized by all those demonic women. And I'll never see him again. In this world.
Okay, so that leads to the same place. So only option 3 is bad the first time. I think it's 98. It's definitely late 90s. I don't know, man. I'm sticking with the disparages character. Why do you think you'll see him in the afterlife?
Why do you think you'll see Eric in the afterlife?
Because we're supposed to be together. I know it in my heart.
Oh no. Can we distract her with X-Files talk? Maybe we could talk about Deep Space Nine for almost 3 hours. It can't be true. You were there all along, but he chose all those other women. I mean, these all kind of feel like they get to the same place. Well, you see, one of the guys... It was funny. One of the guys in that podcast was talking about like how much time he had left, and he was like, "I am supposed to go pick up my kids soon, but I could be a few minutes late." And then like as they were wrapping up the conversation, like the producer kept like putting up images where like they had been putting up images of like episodes they were discussing and stuff like that, and then like they started putting up images of like sad children like waiting alone for like the bus or whatever. It's just like, Ugh. I feel like 2 is the one that's most likely to get through to her. These might all be okay. I feel like there's some risk like she gets like hostile or argumentative if I try to just say that like he was meant for Sarah or whatever. The third one seems like it's okay. I don't know. The like he just chose other people is something.
That can't be true. You were there all along, but he chose all those other women.
It wasn't his fault. He was drowning in temptation. His immortal soul will see the truth. Lord.
Ah, crap.
I wonder what went through his mind as he fell. Was he confused? Scared?
See, like, in my mind, this is where the hypothetical time wizard emote would get used. It's like we're just, like, stuck doing, like, this situation. It's just like, oh, and time wizard. Like, at first I was like, wouldn't it just make more sense to do a return to the past emote? But then I was like, what is a return to the past emote? In the show, like, Jeremy just hits, like, enter on his keyboard, and then, like, a scene of the warehouse has, like, the white flash go over it. Like, I feel like you're not going to get, like, a good representation of that in an emote form. Okay. He was... He wouldn't wish the same for you. Why do you think you'll see Eric? I still feel like 1 is the worst, so I will go for 3. Are you sure that's God's will? Eric was a sinner.
Are you sure that's God's will? You said it yourself. Eric was a sinner. You're not.
Suicide is a sin. If I defile my soul, we'll be back together again.
Oh, brother. That's... I mean, it's an argument. I don't like it.
Lord, forgive me.
Crap. Sarah's the right answer? Why would you hold out on me and not tell me that you were the right answer, Sarah?
Probably.
It'll...
Why?
Because we're...
If Eric would reunite with anyone in death, it would be Sarah. Also, get wrecked,
If
idiot.
Eric would reunite with anyone in death, it would be Sarah.
Sarah Chad says, I hate being used this way.
He
shoot.
did love her.
Oh,
he talked about her all the time.
Yes. Think about it. What started Eric's spiral of destruction?
Pogs.
Sarah's death.
Oh, right.
She's the one he always wanted. Everything he did was to try and distract himself from that fact.
I thought it was to distract from his crippling Pog addiction.
You're right. What am I doing? This can't be God's plan.
It can't. God wants something better for you.
He wants for you to give me that painting you're holding. It seems like a clue.
I can't believe I came so close to doing that.
You didn't go through with it, and that's what matters. You need to promise you'll get some help, though.
I will. Promise. I suppose you had some questions for me, though, since you came back here.
Oh, I guess I did. I almost forgot, given everything that just happened.
Okay. What did you want to know?
I've been pursuing this drug dealer.
I'm looking for a young woman with some kind of facial scars. Can you recall a person like that?
Okay, for some reason it actually annoys me that, like, contextually she chooses not to open with the insane line, specifically when talking to the good Christian girl. Like, that's fine, but it's weird that she doesn't have that presence of mind with literally every other person, including a Catholic priest.
Oh, yeah. Her. Looked like burn scars to me, but she wore a hood and wasn't facing me, so I couldn't tell for sure.
Wow, really? Tell me more, please.
She was one of Eric's girls, I think. I saw them a few times out of the hallway. A real harpy, that one.
It says, excuse me, suicidal Christian girl, but I'm looking for a drug dealer. I mean, she does seem like the one to ask, right?
Yeah? Why do you say that?
This is off the record, right? I could get in real trouble for what I'm about to tell you.
You could?
Of course. You have my word.
Well, I was really worried about Eric, you know, so I made sure to write down everything he was up to, so I could help him better, and I overheard them talking.
See, I knew I should have broken into her apartment.
Are you telling me you have a transcript?
Yes.
Well, Rachel, that would be tremendously useful to me.
I've realized that. I'm not comfortable giving you all of my notes.
Okay.
Some of them are private, but I can give you a copy of the transcript with the scarred girl.
I choose not to speculate on that. I respect your privacy, although I do assume yikes forever.
That would be amazing. Thanks.
God, considering what we know he was up to, that's really awful.
Okay, wait here. I'll be right back.
An eternity later.
Perfect. Thanks, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you know a park ranger named Victor Cooper?
I'm trying to find a park ranger named Victor Cooper. Do you know him?
No, sorry.
Do you know Corey Faze Finnegan?
Do you know Corey Finnegan? He may also go by the name Faze.
No, I haven't heard that name before.
Have you heard of...
Futa Amanoma!
That guy also goes by Pewter, if that means anything to you?
I don't want to ask her about that.
Ask her about the thing she just gave me. It'll be hilarious.
Thanks again for this.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could be helpful.
Show her myself.
I don't want to...
Show her my weird hippie necklace. Taser.
I don't want to...
Okay.
All right. I need to leave now. Will you be okay?
I will. I think I'd like to be left alone now. I'll go call my pastor.
She probably doesn't know Futa Amanoma because he's gay. But what if he's someone that Eric hooked up with? What if he's in the journal?
All right. Take care, Rachel, and, God bless you.
You too, Eileen.
Actually, it's... Never mind. Bye.
Super duper not the time to clarify the fact that you lied to talk to her in the first place. Like, extremely bad time for that. Like, weird that you even hesitated. It's really funny that just, like, she leaves her slippers there and that's supposed to be a clue to go up to the roof, but it won't let you do that for, like, 3 days or something. Computer is spoken for. I mean, it kind of depends on where we're at in the timeline, right? So now I think I go back to the church. Wub, 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 wub. I do really like Computer's crazy laugh at the end of that. Actually, let me look at this. January 14th, 1998, 4:15 p.m. Eric and a woman enter the hall through the main door. Oh, I didn't realize she was writing a play. Woman, I've said it all before. You must have... Eric, Faith, I know. Her cellular phone rings. This is definitely like a play. She's definitely written a play about the guy she was obsessed over. This is a really bad sign, but I find her character, like, shockingly relatable. Which I think says, like, a bunch of bad stuff about me. But I'm like, I feel like I'm the kind of guy who spends time obsessing over someone that he lives near and, like, not really talking to her, but, like, maybe writing a whole transcript like a psychopath. That kind of seems like my vibe. Woman, hello? Eric, who is it? As if he expects her to answer when she's on the phone. Quiet. What? Don't. I'm coming. Wow, what a weird time to bring that up. I mean, I guess if they were in a relationship, it's good for him to know, but, like, she's on the phone. The woman appears to hang up. Great, another episode. Guess we're not hanging out then. Oh, screw you, Eric. Everything isn't about you. She hurries out and slams the door. That Faith, huh? Just lovely. Eric enters his apartment and locks the door. Notes. I saw through my mailbox that Eric wore a nice checker dress shirt. The line break really got me there. I'm like, wait. In addition to all the other stuff that was going on, he was just like cross-dressing for fun? Or was he trans? I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm thinking the woman's name is Faith, but like, still not entirely sure that's helpful. We'll find out. I'm about to summon it. Looked like she had burn scars. The woman wore all black with a hood over her head. Looked like she had burn scars. The woman was vile, but they seemed to talk about faith. Have my prayers been answered? Will Eric find Jesus? Bad news, past Rachel Wang.
Rachel seems to think they were talking about Faith, but I think that's actually her name.
Oh, man, this game really gets me sometimes, because, like, I, like Cotillion, I drew that conclusion from the nature of that conversation. It is a conclusion that actually seems to follow from information that the game gives you. I didn't need the game to tell me that. It would have been nice to have hints about some things like any earthly reason to look at the stupid brochure, or, like, any indication of what was in that locked drawer that I couldn't get to without solving a stupid puzzle. I mean, just knowing a first name doesn't feel like it's enough to do this, but, like, the game has just decided that's true, probably.
Another thing.
Yes?
My mom says that she has never known me to obsess over anyone. That's the kindest, most blatant lie I think any person's ever told. In regards to me, anyway. Also, Faith can easily be a fake name. Oh, for sure. Like, it's just like another one of those, like, classic Kathy Rain things where, like, the game is intent on me believing that this is enough information to proceed, and I don't agree, but the game makes the rules. Do you know a scarred woman named Faith? No last name, little other identifying information, possibly a drug dealer?
So, remember that scarred homeless woman we talked about? I think her name is Faith.
Ah, interesting. Give me a moment to check the records.
Okay, sure. I mean, I'll grant you that it's somewhat likely, I would think, that Pastor what's his face who died, like, probably didn't have like such an overwhelming number of records of like people he was trying to help that like there would be multiple fates in it, but like, I don't know, it's just whatever.
Yes, there was a Faith Cyrene. An apartment was arranged for her at 12 Onyx Row in 1996. No phone number listed.
Well, I can't call ahead. It'd be rude to drop by unannounced.
That's tremendously helpful. Thanks.
You're quite welcome. I sincerely hope she provides the answers you're looking for.
Also, like, kind of weird. I know it's 1998 or whatever, but like, kind of weird for the priest to just casually dox like a troubled young woman like that without like a really compelling reason or like a search warrant or something. I know we're not exactly talking about like the sacred seal of the confessional or whatever, but like still, like, seems kind of crazy, right? Or so I feel.
All right.
Goodbye.
That's my best lead yet, but it's getting late. I better swing by the office and grab a bite to eat before I check it out.
Oh boy, the use of time in these games is bananas. Generally, like, not a lot of actual content happens on day 4, huh? I mean, maybe it's a long night. Oh no, we're still going there, just for some reason that should take place at night, I guess. Suddenly it is night. I feel like kids these days don't appreciate a good, it sure gets dark early around here, or gets dark fast around here. The joke used to be in like everything, and as like a connoisseur of like old TV and movies, like I get like a sensible chuckle from that, even though it's not a particularly good joke, but like no one makes that joke these days. People don't watch like Bugs Bunny or like black and white movies or whatever. What was that knock animation?
Locked. Guess no one's home.
I'm gonna save over the previous oh no crime, because really not that much had happened at that point in the day. Also, it seems like we might be breaking into this apartment, which again seems like a wild logical leap. But like, why not? Kids these days, am I right? Yeah, man. They sure do go crazy for a good 6-7 though. Am I right? Am I right, Gen Alpha? 6-7? Huh? Let me just take her cellular phone,
no
as
proper
mentioned.
bed, but a cell phone. This gal needs to get her priorities straight.
I mean, I suppose in 1998, that's pretty wild. You check her drawers?
All
You don't know what that
empty.
means?
This isn't a residence, it's a safe house.
I mean, no one. My understanding is no one really knows what 6-7 means, but it's supposed to be funny because the olds don't get it. Where's the throwing up emoji? Sir, do you have more insight on what it is other than like kids these days like trying to be funny in a way that adults don't understand? Because that's like the sense I've gotten from like various people trying to understand it online. Aren't we the olds? No, that's what I'm saying. Does anyone other than the teacher in chat know the origin of 6-7? That's what I'm saying. We're the olds. It's a guy's height from a song? Is it like a well-known song? I don't feel like I know this song. In fairness, I only listen to the gay radio station. I don't know why I act like that's not true.
I guess she likes to sleep rough.
I don't care to speculate on that. It's like mumble rap or something?
Various groceries. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't have anything against rap, but like mumble rap's not it for me, I'll say that. Like my understanding is definitely some part of the appeal of 6-7 is that the olds don't get it.
Freshly eaten. Somebody was here recently. Looks barely used. Guess Faith doesn't spend much time here.
It doubles as an editorial about the state of how grim it is to be here.
Various groceries. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Do you like Bad Bunny? I don't really know much about Bad Bunny, to be honest. He seems like a good guy. I know he's done like a bunch of like philanthropic stuff for Puerto Rico because he's like from there, isn't he? I remember that like coming up like after there was like the big power outage and flood there like years ago. Someone who like used to work at my office was like a huge fan of his, and I really didn't know much about him before that. But like, yeah, I've heard very little of his music. If you're fishing for some response to him being like a Super Bowl halftime artist, cool, I guess. I don't care all that much. Seems like a fine pick. The fact that people are upset about it probably makes him a better pick. I don't know. Oh, there are also inappropriate gestures. I am unaware of the inappropriate gestures. I've only seen it referenced in text and text-based memes. Did we talk about this before? I mean, this is like genuine like news to me, so I don't think we've talked about this collectively. It's women related. Well, I mean, if it's inappropriate gestures in a mumble rap song, like, for better or worse, I do assume that it's women related.
Password protected, of course. I'll see if I can crack this later.
Password protected? A cell phone from 1998? Password protected? Am I crazy? Or does that seem weird? I don't feel like you password protected a cell phone in 1998. It is a juggling motion. It is unrelated to the 6-7. It's just like part of the song or like a TikTok dance or something. Yeah, TikTok. Okay. Just kids are just being gross. I mean, regrettably, kids are usually just being gross, right? As a teacher, you are unfortunately on the front lines of that. Is 6-7 in particular the reason you're having a bad week? I could believe it.
That poor thing doesn't put a dent in the god-awful aesthetic of this room.
It is, however, load-bearing.
Pretty decent view of the city from up here. Certainly beats the brick wall outside my office window.
I think that's all the TV there is. Go to the hallway? Get caught?
Fuck. That came from the roof. No time for that. I need to go check the roof.
Well, I mean, do we need to check the roof? Isn't it possible that we have two options available to us and one of them isn't run towards the gun? My kids do it. I tell them how gross it is. They ask why. I ask them to think about it. They're like, oh, now they all stop. Really?
The alley. Watch out.
Impossible. Lucas died?
It's fine. She's just trying to get away. We need to get you to a doctor.
Too late. I won't.
Lucas!
That was not it. Don't take the smoking gun, lady. Nah, we got downstairs real fast.
You're not gonna get away with this.
Are we gonna full throttle?
I'm gonna catch you, and I'm gonna kill you.
Run to where you want, go to where you want. I am going to catch you. There ain't no distance far enough. I am gonna catch you. Dang, son, that was a crazy cutscene. Now this is Cassidy blankety blank. I think it's like the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if we confirmed that. For some reason, I feel like it's the Pacific Northwest. No, it's not the bald guy.
Come on, kid. Time to get back up.
Okay, I did kind of think it was the ghost of, what's his name, Lucas? So just to be clear, I was being a little glib before because, like, this game was, like, so heavily foreshadowing this character's death that, like, it didn't surprise me in the slightest. Not totally sure why he was on top of that building at that particular time, or what that altercation would have been. but like not even remotely surprising to me that he ended up dying in the course of this game.
Ugh.
Or, I mean, if we're being real, I guess technically, maybe, but like, this is probably a ghost or hallucination or something. Like, I'm pretty sure he died.
Lucas?
Who else? Your mother?
Wait, you didn't bleed out?
Passed out from the pain. Didn't bother to check my pulse, did you?
I don't think so. I mean, like, maybe, but like, wouldn't he be more made of blood from all the blood that he was bleeding from the wound that didn't get treated? I think he's a spooky ghost.
That doesn't... I'm dead, aren't I?
Ha! Yeah, I see how that could make sense. Maybe you cracked your skull on the pavement and this is our last tango. That'd be pretty funny.
Hilarious.
No, I can't be fucking dead. I'm supposed to avenge you.
Avenge me? An alcoholic has-been? Wife and kids who loathe him? Please. You should be concerned with whomever is willing to avenge you.
I don't think anyone would do that for me.
Maybe the Avengers?
Anyone
like Captain
alive,
America?
that is.
No argument there. You haven't been making friends lately, have you?
I guess not. I'm sorry, Lucas. I should have been there for you.
It's 1998. It's a good time to all be there for you.
Why should you? You're too good for that. You're new blood, and I'm just a fossil.
You're new blood, and I ran out of blood because I bled out on the rooftop where you watched me die.
That's not...
Let's not play games, kid. I know you. Afterlife or not, we can't stay here. This place reeks of gasoline. Come on. I know the...
Just gonna leave our bike here and go into this random building that I've never seen before. Maybe he's CIA. You mean because he's a spook?
Hey, wait up.
I don't like the strongly colored lights in here. That feels super ominous.
What's going on, Lucas?
Oh, that's all I need. Just a couple of more cases. Then I'm riding off into the sunset.
I think this is the conversation we had with him at the start of the game.
Yeah. Is it that obvious?
Wee-oo, wee-oo. Because they're red and blue lights, you get it? Wee-oo, wee-oo.
So, there's something I need to tell you.
You're dead. Curtains. It's curtains for me. No! This is fine. It's
Lucas?
definitely not a metaphor, and it's completely fine. I promise.
Here's Kathy Rain!
What the hell is this? Who said that?
Now, who's got something to say to the one and only badass bitch herself?
I'm tired of being manipulated, Kathy.
Fair.
You've always got some hidden agenda.
It's a good song, though.
I've been nothing but a good friend to you, and there's only so much I can take. We were great together at Rain Investigations, and then you had to ruin it all by blaming me when things started to go downhill.
Yeah, man. Eileen sucks. I mean, Eileen's great, so if there's a problem, you sucks, is what I mean.
That was so
Sing
unfair.
Crimson and Clover. I don't know
that
that
really
one.
hurt me.
If you missed last week, we did some improv haikus. It was bad and dumb. I just like picked like a really depressing poem to try and indicate that I was into drugs so that they would give me drugs, and they were like, put the word bonds in it and it'll be a great poem. And I did, and they're like, that poem had everything I could want in it.
Will you ever change?
She's so upset. I want to be the friend you deserve, but I am broken.
I wish I could become the friend you deserve, but I'm broken.
When we were young, you used me and threw me away.
I'm not nearly as attached to this guy as I am to Eileen.
That really fucked me up. And now you're doing it again. Have you ever thought about why you're alone? Why everything keeps going to shit?
I don't know what the consequences of this are, if any. I don't think this will be a time loop. Wait, is he hot? I think he's hot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy's hot. And he's also, like, interested in being in a relationship with Kathy, which he, like, kind of sucks to him. I don't think the point is to just be totally self-deprecating, but, like, I feel like saying people like me are meant to be alone is, like, trying to absolve ourselves of our responsibility in it. And I kind of feel the same about, like, the only way to climb up is pull others down. So I feel like the middle one's, like, the least crappy option. I don't know.
Sitting in a pile of shit is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Happiness is never anything but a brief, fleeting respite.
It's a comedy.
Who are you? And what did you do to my fucking daughter?
A locksmith and a locksmith. Wait.
I'm right here, Mom. Ready to take out the trash.
Hallelujah.
Uh-oh. Somebody's out for blood.
Why is the announcer at this, like...
Time to bash some sense into you, bitch.
Karaoke poetry slam club, like, also, like, a WWE ring announcer.
Can't.
This
is confusing. It wasn't.
Well, there's multiple Kathys, so it's like a Russian doll.
One holds another, holds another, holds another.
What's a good line?
No, she is not worthy.
I don't know what that means. Wait, I'm controlling the fake one?
The year she was born. She lost it, and it is mine now.
Why is the penny born?
No.
Well, I guess we'll call them poplars.
There was. God, what a nightmare.
I mean, I have questions about how we actually got home, but on some level, perhaps I should have read that as we were already having the midnight nightmare. Yeah, I don't know how she got in bed. That feels like a reasonably big plot hole. Meow.
Good girl. Let's go back to sleep.
Same.
What's that, honey? We got a rat in here?
I am in you now.
It's really not cool for a creepy guy to say that to a woman.
Your flesh
really not cool for a guy to say that to a woman at all, really.
A heart that yearns to be crushed.
Shall we sculpt some flesh friends then?
Let's not
Before
sculpt
the
some flesh
immolation
friends.
takes hold and nothing remains.
This isn't real. I destroyed you. I destroyed the place you came from.
Why do you think you destroyed it? You didn't destroy him.
There is no death. Only change.
This guy's line reads are for sure different than the last game. Even if it's the same
I am
actor.
the limb of man.
Oh no, that, Mr. Burgundy would be like a different guy. Huh?
Burgundy. Now, let the liturgy commence.
That's upsetting. Please don't. And now we wake up in the alley. What's going on in this game? Oh, we finished day 4. Isn't that good?
It was him, yet it wasn't. He realized that he had to be the one to pass through the threshold. He had to be the one to take responsibility.
Ugh.
Kathy?
Wait a minute. If Kathy Rain is in the hospital, does that mean that we get to play a day as Eileen Summers? Is it Ron Burgundy? If so, I would be inclined to agree with you that Milk was a bad choice. He seemed real messed up. Who else? Do you know many blue-haired comatose girls? If so, I have questions.
Who else? Do you know many blue-haired comatose girls?
Thank God. Are you okay?
Just peachy. How long was I out?
4 days.
I would really like it if the next thing that happened was like the pop-up came up and like erased day 5 and then wrote day 9.
Fuck. What about...
Mildred's okay. Don't worry.
That's a relief. The bike then?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the bike was Mildred. The cat is doomed.
It was pretty beat up, but Dad fixed it. It's standing out in the parking lot.
Do we know anything about Eileen's dad?
But he hates me. Why'd he do that?
I'd be the first to admit that you're not his favorite person, but he happens to love this gal. And I'll tell you, she pouted real bad at him.
I love her so
you didn't
much.
Have to do that, E.
You're right. I didn't. But I wanted to. Sometimes people care. Everything doesn't always have to be some cynical tit for tat.
I guess not.
So, I heard about Lucas.
Don't remind me. He wanted to be a team and I turned him down. If I'd had his back that night, maybe he'd still be alive.
I don't know, man. I'm really not sure why he was there.
Or you'd both be dead. You know better than to blame yourself like this, Kathy.
Maybe so, but it doesn't matter. It's over. I'm finished. This medical bill will be the final nail in my coffin.
I just had a really funny thought. I mean, like, I honestly think that there have been relatively few enough adventure games that I think there's still, like, a decent amount of, like, genre convention humor to be mined from it. But, like, it'd be really funny if, like, the cat's okay and we fix the bike and she's like, my inventory? And she's like, dented beyond repair. Was Eileen Ginger in the first game? Oh, yeah. Nah, she was. She was for sure. Yep. I would remember. Yeah. She did the thing where she had red hair and was wearing green and, like, I don't know, I'm just, like, immediately attracted to that to, like, an unreasonable degree. So, like, yep, for sure, yeah.
What's up with the defeatist attitude, Detective? That's not how we usually solve a case, is it?
She also has really nice, like, green frames for her glasses. I don't know if she had those in the last game. They might have been more generic, like black or something.
You don't really want to help, E. You're just feeling guilty because I got myself hurt.
No, that has nothing to do with it. The Soothsayer killed Lucas.
Was that
he
the
was my
Soothsayer,
friend too?
though? Like, do we actually have any evidence of any kind that that was the Soothsayer? I mean, it seems reasonably likely, based on the context, that that person who ran from the scene of the crime was allegedly Faith. You know, the lady known as Faith with the scarred face and whatever. But, like, we didn't get a good look at her. But it looked to me like a woman, and it happened at her apartment building. Or, like, the building she was living at, or what have you. But, like, it's not like we saw a smashed obsidian mirror or whatever. I don't know why you would assume the suits.
Are we really gonna let this monster get away with what they did to him?
What's this? Dusting off the good old eye for an eye, are you, E?
No! This is about doing the right thing. The Soothsayer has to be stopped.
Did we figure out who T was? Well, we had a theory that it was
Doug, the mole man.
But then we realized that D isn't the same letter as T. So we considered...
The culprit is known as Terror.
Yeah, we were thinking it's Terror. Terror seems like a likely option, if that helps.
I'm telling you, it's Kagami. Kagami!
Who? Who's Kagami? Remind me who that is?
Despite our faults, we've always made a great team. And it's time for us to step up. For
and
Lucas.
Get engaged?
What do you say?
Well, I say we better get some heavy painkillers or we won't get far. I feel like I've been through a grinder.
That's the spirit. Hey, doctor! We've got a girl here in need of some heavy drugs. Stat.
And because it's the 90s, that probably just works.
That's the last thing I thought I'd ever hear come out of your mouth.
I'll go grab some lunch while you guys talk, okay?
Sure. See you in a bitty. All right. Lay it on me, Doc. How bad is it?
Well, your organs are all dust now. I'm not even sure how you're sitting up.
You've suffered 2 rib fractures and some cuts and bruises, but your most serious condition is what's called a subdural hematoma, a buildup of blood on the surface of the brain.
Uh-huh. Is it serious? Serious as, geez, they're letting her out like that? Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't. I'll say that much.
Oh, fuck. That sounds serious.
It is. Most cases are treated with cranial surgery to drain the blood and alleviate the pressure. However, your hematoma is relatively small, and its location makes surgery a greater risk. So we chose a more conservative approach, managing it with medication and closely monitoring the results.
Closely monitoring the results sounds like we shouldn't be leaving the hospital, if I could be completely honest with you.
All right. How has the condition progressed?
We performed an MRI yesterday, and the good news is that the hematoma has shrunk in size. We believe it will heal on its own, but I would advise that you remain here under observation for at least 2 weeks.
See, the problem with that is if it was a few more days, I could believe that might happen in the narrative of the story. That not being the case, I imagine that we're going to get ourselves in real bad danger.
That won't fly, Doc. Money is an issue. Can I check myself out and continue the treatment on my own?
Technically, yes. We can prescribe some corticosteroid pills to help manage the symptoms. I wouldn't recommend this course of action, though. You'd have to sign an AMA form.
What good is it for her to ask him anything at this point? What does that do for anyone? Why is there a form for that in 1998?
Against medical advice, yeah. I'm aware of how that works. What risk should I know about?
Death. For sure death. Also, just real bad stuff that's not quite death. But then I'm just going to say it again for emphasis, like definitely death.
Well, physical exertion and additional head trauma may exacerbate the injury, resulting in severe headaches, confusion, and loss of consciousness. If you're unlucky, it may even be fatal.
Well, damn. Guess I better take it easy. What about this neck brace thing?
Oh, that's just standard procedure in cases like this. Those x-rays came back clean, so you can safely remove it.
All right, good. Let's get that form then, Doc.
Very well. Oh, and before I forget, there was a young police officer here looking for you. He said he knew you?
Sounds like Josh. Thanks for the heads up.
Was he swearing a bunch and blaming me for his problems? Because I deserve it, and also probably Josh.
All right, all dolled up and ready to go. Time to get out of this joint. Jeez, I'm popular. If I knew I'd get this many visitors, I'd have crashed my bike months ago.
Greetings. It looks like you are feeling better.
That is for sure the librarian. Why on earth is the librarian here?
Hi. Do I know you?
You don't recognize me. We met at the library a while back.
Oh, right. The librarian guy.
We met at the library
No offense,
4
buddy,
in-game days ago.
What are you
well, I guess
doing
9
in what will
in-game days
soon
ago.
cease to be my hospital room?
I apologize for barging in. I should properly introduce myself. I am Tom Ward, but you may know me as T.
Hold on, I'm just gonna make a note of that. I like a good name game that's like needlessly specific. So like, I am Tom Ward, but you may know me as T. That might be longer than I want, but like, that's a good one.
Oh, you're the guy. You left me all those notes.
Yeah, there should be like 4 of them piled up under your door, and then I found out you were like dead or dying.
Yes. For reasons I cannot explain, I felt that a subtle approach was safer for both of us. However, given what happened to you and your late friend,
No,
the
Eileen's
stakes
on
are
her way
getting
back.
too high, so I'd like to propose an alliance.
What do you think this is, Survivor?
An alliance? Why? Who are you? Have you been stalking me?
Who I am is not an easy question to answer, but I'll say this. Much like yourself, I have a score to settle with the Soothsayer.
This dude is some kind of wizard. This guy is like... Wait, he's proposing. Hang on, hear him out. No, this guy is like definitely some kind of wizard. Or maybe he's like his own cult leader or something. But like he's definitely some like weird magical guy for sure.
That's so? What kind of score?
Love all. We're just starting tennis.
An immeasurable one. Everything was taken from me. My life was destroyed. I was enslaved.
It's coming.
Enslaved? Were you tied up in a creepy serial killer dungeon or what?
Right? You don't get a name like Tom Ward and not be a wizard, right? Like for real. Man is like clearly some kind of wizard. There's like occult supernatural stuff. He's definitely a wizard.
Not quite. There is a malevolence hiding behind the Soothsayer.
A goblin in a
this
funny
evil
hat.
Found me at my lowest point, forcing me into bondage.
Okay, again, circling back to that like creepy dungeon. Was it like a sex dungeon?
Are you saying that the Soothsayer is doing the bidding of someone else?
Yes. I also believe that the conjunction tomorrow will be instrumental to their plans.
Oh, this guy's lucky I got a good vocabulary. Otherwise, I'd have to be a librarian to talk to him.
Huh? What plans? What conjunction?
Conjunction junction. What's your function? It's the 90s, so it's more culturally relevant.
As for their plans, I don't know for sure, but I'm certain that the murders serve a specific purpose. The conjunction I speak of is when Saturn and Venus meet in the sky. It's the first such occurrence in over 80 years. Some believe that this event is charged with, esoteric potency.
I thought the FDA said you couldn't sell esoteric potency anymore, but I guess it's still the 90s, right? So maybe they haven't ruled on that yet.
Uh-huh. I think I've heard enough.
You don't believe me. I feared as much. Very well. I will pursue the Soothsayer on my own. Perhaps our paths will cross again.
Yeah, you do that. See you, buddy.
Man, she is super bad at her job. Like so many adventure games. It's so funny to me. Like, in my mind, I still hold the stereotypes of the classic adventure game protagonist dear, that you must be like a sociopath and or a kleptomaniac in order to be a successful adventure game protagonist. But I feel like modern adventure games are leaning more and more on like, you are someone with a specific job and you are bad at it. And I don't know why that's like so integral to making like a modern adventure game.
There was something really off about that guy.
Yeah, right, Sarah? Like 10 minutes ago, Kathy, Lucas died because we didn't team up. Kathy right now, this guy's crazy.
Hey, what'd I miss? Who was that man?
An actual wizard.
No one. Just some creepy weirdo.
Huh?
Don't worry about it. I'm ready to head out. Let's go.
Okie dokie.
I love her so much. Marry me. It is really funny that...
yeah,
Okie dokie.
That about sums it up.
It's really funny that, like, Sarah asked, like, do we know who T is? I was like, I don't know, and I don't care. And then, like, 2 minutes later, he's like, I happen to be T.
Wow. What a wild case. What will you do next?
The Chief Ranger should be back now, so I think I'll go talk to him about Cooper.
Yeah. It must be dangerous to confront Cooper himself, though, if he is who you think he is.
I don't know why it's so funny to me. It's like, gosh, we couldn't get an appointment with that guy until he came back to work on Monday. Well, I guess the only thing to do is to fall into a 4-day coma so that the next day I'm up and investigating the situation. I can have an appointment with the park ranger.
Yes. Before I go anywhere near him, I should retrieve Lucas's gun. I wasn't kept under police surveillance at the hospital, so the cops couldn't have found it yet. It must still be somewhere around the crash site.
Okay.
Then there's Longhorn PI, right? Maybe Lucas left some things behind?
Assuming the cops haven't ransacked the place, yes. But good idea. I should check there sooner rather than later.
How can I help with all of this then?
We move in together or something?
Well, there's this cell phone that I found in Faith Cyrene's apartment. Passcode protected. Maybe you could do something with that?
You bet. I'll have that cracked in no time.
The files are in the phone. Oh my god, do you think she's gonna call, like, Hacker Dave from the last game?
Great. Guess we have a plan then. Meet up here tonight?
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie is the opposite of aw shucks. I think that's true. I'm gonna have to think about that some more to know if it's truly, like, the exact opposite. It was a short in-game day, but I definitely don't think we would accomplish another in-game day today. Perhaps it is a sign that this is just supposed to be a shorter stream. It feels a little bad since I'm not streaming tomorrow, but, like, I think it kind of makes sense to just split here.
Can I talk to you for a sec?
Sure. What's up?
Probably not a good idea to ask her about all this stuff. Ooh, let me ask about my
The doctor
pills.
gave you those?
Yep. I meant to take them if my head injury acts up. All right.
Okie dokie.
So many okie dokies. Is there like a particularly good
Did someone
okie-dokie?
say birthday?
Did somebody say... Hang on, did someone say birthday?
Ole!
Ole. Well, I mean, that wasn't like a particularly great installment of the game. There was some weird stuff. I really didn't like that brochure puzzle. I think that was another pretty bad one. Story took a bit of a wild turn there. Again, not totally surprised by the fate of Lucas. Felt like that was extremely heavily telegraphed. It's sad because he was a good character, but, like, I mean, it was, like, definitely for sure 100% happening. But on the bright side, Eileen. You know what I mean. I mean, just to harken back, I was like, you don't ever get obsessed about anyone. I'm like, literally during the course of this stream, I'm obsessed over a fictional woman in a video game. I don't know what to tell you. I got problems. I got a fair number of problems, my gang. Yeah, I feel like short in-game day is maybe the sign. Like, I could try to do like half a day. I feel like we're gonna have a better experience if we keep the day to get, like, the flow of these individual days can get really wonky. And, like, stopping midstream feels like it could somehow exacerbate some of the weird stuff. By which I mean, like, knowing the contents of a drawer I can't get into and, like, magically intuiting that a man who is not bald is the bald man that I am looking for. So I think we'll just call it here. Like I said, I think my plan is that, like, we're gonna try and finish Kathy Rain 2 this month. And then I have 2, I think, shorter games in mind that maybe we can finish before the end of the year. I don't particularly have anything else, like, coming out soon or pressing, I think, to play on stream. But I have a couple of ideas. One suggested recently, one that I got last spring that I still haven't played, even though I specifically wanted to play it on stream. In fairness, it has been a very game release heavy year for my interests. Well, yeah, so it is that fateful point in the stream where we seek out secret Squirtles. If you can find a Squirtle hidden amongst the various plush friends, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. They may be hidden under or behind or in some other clever prepositional phrase relating to something else. It's usually one of those two. But I'll allow you guys a moment to consider where one might be hiding, and then I will also point out I've moved Evie and Flareon to the keychain posts, and we still have the absolute unit of neck frill tiny keychain Jolteon. Just an absolute unit. I'm glad that we managed to consistently find uses for name games so far, although I really wasn't terribly concerned about that. It's part of why I wanted to put so much effort into it, but I do have some legitimate interest in getting I'm Tom Ward. You may know me as T. It took me a while to track down the Falco quote from StreamerBot, or for StreamerBot. That was funny. All right, we got some good guesses. It's also late. It does seem like a more tired Friday than some in recent past, but it does feel like it's been a year this past week somehow. I think we're roughly in agreement of that. Oob. Oob is so good. What a wonderful creature. Oh, let's go take a look, shall we? So we got Eeyore and Sandshrew and Oob. Let's start with Sandshrew. Sandshrew wearing... Oh. See, the lighting lends itself to this crazy fuzz nonsense. Sandshrew wearing Neko's tiny pirate hat. However... not a Squirtle, just like definitely, legitimately a Mew. I'm pretty sure this is Mew. This is what Mew looks like, right? Then on the bottom shelf, an Eeyore guess. Not a Squirtle, but an aquatic friend with a different type of nautical hat. What's our whale's name? Samir. That's a fun name. It's a good whale. And the guess of Oob has been called. And Oob, in fact, is friend to this winking Squirtle friend. Had you not seen the whale before, Sarah? He's really good. I think it was like when parents and I, like the day before my parents and I flew to Vegas this year. Like my mom and I like stopped to get like toiletries at a pharmacy, and they had like this guy and like a little manta ray that was like slightly different from a manta ray I already had. And my mom got me both of those because I'm an adult. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Mystery. Any guesses on our theme? Eeyore and Sandshrew did not have a Squirtle, but Oob did. Oob is genuinely one of my favorite Squishmallows. I mean, Carlos very special as my first, and Colossum and the heart, and his very good hug energy. And Oob is just so happy, and Oob is just very funny. Halloween critters, a good guess, although there's relatively few of them. I will say that this Halloween critter, our haunted house, does have one, but it is not Halloween as our theme. I mean, just look at how good Oob is. The theme, in fact, was smiling friends. I put out some that like we have like brown bear who's kind of frowning. Sandshrew doesn't have any mouth depicted, and both the Winnie the Pooh friends in large form, sort of cute face, no mouth. So all the smiling friends have Squirtles this time. Which does mean that instead of having a Squirtle, our grumpy Teddy Ursa had this extremely small Squishmallow cinnamon bun. And just because people were asking about him before. Ursa ring. Yeah, I have a bunch of these little guys. I don't have like a great place to store them, so I kind of just keep them in a box and kind of forget to take them out, but they're good to hide behind the little ones. Anyway, I do continue to have mixed feelings about Kathy Rain, but like I am pretty invested in the characters at large, and despite having some relatively frequent frustration with the way that the puzzles play out, like I think I'm still interested in seeing it through. I feel like you all are interested enough to keep going with it. So that's my plan for now. Reminder, no stream tomorrow. I'll try to remember to post something to the Discord as a reminder. But yeah, spend some family time the rest of this weekend, and then should be good for next weekend and the one after. Is that how math works? Yes, I believe that's right. The next 2 weeks should be fine, and then Thanksgiving off, and then you know, things get a little spotty around the holidays. Anyway, great. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves and remember that you are Colossum.